here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in... It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello and welcome to a special Sunday edition of Live at the Bike. We are here, Legends of Poker, and it is ladies' event. This is the final table. We're down to the final 9 players. The winner of this event not only wins a whole bag of cash, but gets to play in the WPT Ladies Invitational and a chance at a $25,000 World Poker Tour Championship. This is really exciting. I'm David Tuckman. I'm here with Bart Hansen on a Sunday. I'm here at the lovely Lupe. And we are here to see some great poker. Tournament poker, Sunday. Enjoy.
Of course, this show is called Live at the Bike, if anyone doesn't know. Of course, we have a lot of new viewers coming in and watching. We normally stream live cash games from Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific time. Today is a free segment of the show, and as Dave said, the winner of this tournament will go on and play on the Travel Channel, on the WPT, with a couple of lovely ladies that have already been invited by the WPT. So let's get into it. Let's head over there, and let's introduce the table. Let's start it up here.
You realize the respect I get here, Lupe?
Absolutely.
He doesn't even trust me to say it. It's unreal. It's unreal. Anyway, in seat number 1, we have...
Shah.
Say it again?
Shah
Byrne. And she starts the day with 24,500 chips. And she is all in right now with pocket 9s. Now I'm getting a glance at the other hands, and nobody else looks like they can call her, except maybe seat 7, which is Teresa Chang. She's got A7. We'll see what happens, though. Seat number 2, we have the lovely Timmy DeRosa. And Timmy starts the day with 62,500 chips. Seat number 3, we have Feilin Huang. And I wonder if there's any relation to John Huang. John Huang, a very accomplished poker player. She has 142,500 chips, and she is the chip leader. Really impressive. Seat number 4, we have Stella Ohanessian. Apologize for the spelling there. 51,000 chips she starts the day with. Seat number 5, we've got Wendy Stroh with 16,500. She is the short stack, but you know what? One hand, she's right back in it. Seat number 6, we've got Kelly Griggs. And Kelly's got her chips over there. She's got 64,000. She's in good shape. Seat number 7 is probably... I'm not real familiar with many of these players, but I am familiar with Teresa Chang. Teresa Chang came in, I want to say, 6th place at the World Series of Poker Ladies event last year.
That's right, Dave.
She's a really phenomenal player. She was actually a prop here for a while at the Bicycle Casino.
She's played on this show a bunch of times way back when in 30-60 limit hold'em.
Yeah, I mean, she can really hold her own against the best of it, men and female. Really a great player, and she is second in chips with 103,000. Probably my favorite to win. We'll see what happens, though. Seat number 8, we have Mi Sook Cho. And she has 74,500 chips. And in seat number 9, last but certainly not least, we have Alberta Damas with 91,500 chips. And here we are, the ladies' poker party here. Final table of the Legends event. Winner gets a seat into the World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational.
Well, as Dave said, we already had an all-in. We kind of jumped the gun during the intros. And we held the action. So, and from what Dave said, we're right. If we see the cards come up here, it looks like Teresa's got A7, and she's probably not going to call, but she would be the only one.
Yeah, I mean, A7 on the button is kind of a move-in hand. You don't really want to call off your chips at that. We are here at the lovely Lupe now. I know you have a lot of associations with the Lips Tour.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be doing some guest commentary the entire day with us, which is great. really excited about that.
Lupe, you were on with me, what was it, about 10 months ago? The last time the Lip Store stopped by and we streamed a final table here on Live at the Bike.
We did that, and we
seemed
also
like
did
it was just yesterday.
It was a cash game too. We came and had a bunch of gals that were invited for a
That's
cash
right.
game. Remember that?
That's
was a lot
right.
of fun.
London Gallagher played with a bunch of her friends.
Right.
Well, Teresa's going to take some time with this one, Dave.
Well, I mean, she's got 103,000 in chips. Now, if she called this and lost, she would still have about 79,000 in chips, and she knows that's plenty to play with. But it's one of those things where, do you really want to call your chips off with ace high?
Well, here's the other tournament strategy that sometimes we talk about this on the show with the blinds.
She's going to throw it away.
With the blinds and antes this high, though, you are never more than a 2-to-1 dog with any ace.
Right.
So, if she wanted to gamble,
you're 100% correct. I got to tell you, the tournament strategy, my general tournament strategy is I'm always going to be I always want to be pushing. I want to put my opponent to the test, make them call me. Because remember, when you're pushing, there are two ways to win the hand. Your opponent can fold, and of course, if they call you, you can still win a showdown.
That's right.
But if you call them, there's only one way to win the hand. Now, we have 630,000 chips on the table total. And there is our chip count, our first chip count. Went through that already. And we'll keep track of that throughout the afternoon. And the blinds are at... Do you know, Bart?
We did not get word of that. I'm sure we will, and we'll get word at how long the levels are, too. 2,000, 4,000 with a $500 ante, and I believe the levels are what? 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Okay, so we're talking about 2,000, 4,000. The limits are 30 minutes long. You're right, 30.
30 minutes long.
So it's 10,000. By the way, it's 10,500 per round.
Ante. 300 ante.
Five.
You said. Oh, 500 ante.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's about $10,000 per round. So if you even look at that, you look at the chip leader. Even the chip leader only has enough for say 14 rounds right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Teresa Cheng only has enough for 10 rounds. Seat number 1 there. I'm gonna kill her name all day. I'm sorry.
Shah, like SH.
Yeah, Shah. Thank you. That's help. That definitely helps. She only had 2 rounds worth, so obviously, you know, Teresa knew that she'd be pushing in with almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in the big blind right now. Here, she's got deuce 3 of diamonds. You're going to bear with us because a lot of these ladies might not have been on the table right now. Teresa has cards as well as seat 7. Seat 6 is going to move in here.
And we cannot see seat 6's hand. There
Well,
it is.
she's got king 9 here.
And she's going to put almost, about a third of her chips in there.
King 9 offsuit, and now Teresa, she thought about it with ace 7 against a short stack. She's going to easily fold this against someone with a lot of chips here, this hand. And this is what we see in tournaments.
Well, actually, before you say that, I mean, you say easily fold. I think there's 2 ways to play that. And obviously, she did lay it down. It's not necessarily, remember, she's a big stack there. Seat number 6 put 10,000 in. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that she would go over the top there either.
No, all I was saying was she didn't take much time with it. She folded it without thinking.
Definitely.
Well, I think a lot of today we're going to see a lot of big decisions for these gals because they really want to win this seat.
Well, it's a big deal. I mean,
it
obviously,
certainly is.
I'm not sure. I don't have the prize structure in front of me, but obviously we're not really talking about how much money was involved in the tournament. Now, obviously, I believe there's probably, I'm assuming, 630 people in the tournament that entered. They each got
we have
1,000 chips.
420.
420. Okay, so you got 1,500 chips each to start off with. But we're talking about, first place. You get to be on the Travel Channel and the World Poker Tour.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's no small beans.
That isn't. And then if they win that one, they get the $25,000 opportunity to play in the championship for the World Poker Tour. And that's a dream come true for many, many of these gals.
Of course. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable.
Well, it was funny, Lupe. Dave and I were talking on Friday that it seems like everyone who's won that event. Now, we haven't had somebody to win the Ladies' Night event that's won this tournament. But if that were to happen, you almost become an instant pro where you get sponsorship and you have a lot of your buy-ins bought in. Remember the first time Cloney Gowan won, Evelyn Ng won, they're still 2 household names. They didn't really even do anything really much after that. It was just their appearance on that show got them PokerStar deals for, the next 2 or 3 years. Cloney Gowan's still with PokerStars.
Right.
Well, Full Tilt, actually.
Full Tilt.
Oh, at Full Tilt, yeah. Evelyn Ng was with PokerStars until recently.
Right, exactly.
Now, Mi Sook here is going to open raise here with an ace. She's got ace 6 of clubs. She's going to make it 10,000, so 2.5 times.
And remember, we're full ring game here. Now, once you get 6 or 7-handed, 5-handed, ace 6 late position becomes a big hand. But you got to realize 9-handed, ace 6 is not that big a hand, but you really got to play these tournaments aggressive.
And here we go. Now, look, Shah's got a decision because she's got ace 10 offsuit here in the small blind. As we just pointed out, we're full ring, but she is the short stack. She only has about 30,000 left here.
Well, and she's going to lay it down. I got to tell you, I'm surprised there. Now, if the raise had come from, say, early position or middle position, ace 10 is probably going to hit the muck pretty quickly. But you've got to realize that against a late position raiser, and in this spot, a cutoff seat when Misuk put it in there, Misuk does not have to have a very big hand. She could have King 9, King 10, something like that. Or in this case, Ace 6. Good chance Ace 10 is probably the best hand.
I'm surprised Shaw there, too. I agree with you because, I'm really surprised that she laid it down so quickly because, again, she's got 30,000. We're at 2,000, 4,000. I mean, at some point when you're under 10 times the big blind with a pretty hefty ante, which is in this case about 1/8 the big blind, you got to start moving in there. You got to start moving with aces and some small pocket pairs.
Well, yeah,
it's not so cut and dry for us to say that it was a mistake, but it's a pretty conservative play.
Well, it's just a matter of where you've got to obviously think about where the raise is coming from. When the raise comes from the button, when the raise comes from the cutoff seat, you can't necessarily give that person that much credit for a big hand. Now you look here, seat number 8 again. She's in the hijack seat with ace deuce. She's not going to try to steal this one. Now I got to tell you, let's see what Shaw does here on the button with 8-9. She's not going to play it. I got to tell you, you've really got to be pushing here. Remember, first place is so much bigger than second place in this one. So you really want to get those chips.
Timmy is going to complete in the small blind with king high here, and Faline is going to take a card here in the big blind. She checks it with jack deuce. Timmy's got Faline dominated. Here we see the first flop here of the day. Queen 10-9 with a couple diamonds. Well, Faline is open-ended here with jack deuce.
Now, Faline is not necessarily...
And Timmy's going to come out and bet 4,000 here with a gut shot to the jack and a call by Faline with the open-ended straight draw. Here we go to the turn. The turn is an ace. Still no pair versus no pair here. King high is still good.
And here's Faline. She's going to use her chip stack. This is the advantage of being the chip leader. You call one time. We always talk about sometimes calling in position is just as good as a raise. Now your opponent shows a little weakness, and you take it away. Great play by Faline.
Yeah, she bets 8,000 here on the turn.
We talk about it oftentimes where people will raise right away. There's really no urgency to commit that many chips right on the flop when you're that deep.
You can test the water.
Yeah, you take one off. See if your opponent has the has the courage to fire a second bullet into you. And when she doesn't, okay, great. Now I'll take it. And do you know this Faline Huang is any relation to John Huang?
Let's see here.
No, it's some. You mean in terms of like a sister? You mean? It's definitely not his wife.
I'm just talking related.
Familiar with his wife.
I'm just saying related in any way. Could be a cousin. I have no idea.
Well, one of these girls, it was interesting, and I don't know if it was her, but one of these girls wrote their email address as leewatkins@hotmail.com or at AOL.com.
Really?
And which one was it?
Timmy.
Timmy. So Timmy has some relation to Lee Watkins?
I imagine. Right? I mean, she's wearing the Full Tilt shirt. I know Lee is associated with Full Tilt as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. We've got ace-king for seat 9, and seat 6 open raises here to 10,000 with king 9 offsuit. And it looks like Alberta is just going to call.
Really?
She does not re-raise.
Well, she's setting the trap here now. If a king were to fall, pretty sure that Kelly would probably go broke here. She's in a lot of trouble.
And we are still full ring. So king 9 of clubs open for the raise, and Alberta has called with ace-king. The pot is 20,000 plus the antes and the blinds. So we're looking at about a $30,000 pot right now.
Now, if you're not familiar with Teresa Chang, by the way, you can check out her on Hendon Mob because she is really a phenomenal player. I mean, she's got some real big poker accomplishments.
I think Limit Hold'em is more her forte in terms of her tournament success, but she did finish 6th last year in the ladies' event.
Actually, Jennifer Tilly gave her a terrible beat.
Right.
Knocked her out.
I put her on to win last year, actually. I sweat her the whole table.
Well, you know what? If she doesn't get that bad beat, she probably does win.
And Stella is going to call. It's only 6,000 more. She's going to call with Jack 10.
Hey, you know what? She's getting like 5-1 or 6-1 on her money with Jack 10. Why not?
5-1. And here we go. 40,000 chip pot here to the flop. Kelly, the pre-flop raiser.
Oh, wow.
And she hits it. She outflops everybody. She's got pot pair here with the 9.
I mean, she was in such bad shape here. I mean, she needs a 9 and only a 9 pretty much, or clubs. And she gets a monster flop.
She bets 20,000, and Alberta beats her into the pot, calling instantly without a second thought, and she's in terrible shape here.
I got to tell you, if a king comes off here, Alberta's really going to trap herself.
Here we go to the turn. The turn's a deuce, and look at this. Kelly's hands gets stronger. She picks up a flush draw here.
Alberta is down to 2 outs, by the way. She needs an ace that is not a club. She needs a red ace, and that's it.
It's a $70,000 pot here, and Kelly's going to bet $30,000. And Alberta is going to continue here to call again. As you can see, she has, 2 outs here?
2 outs. She needs a red ace, and that's it.
Over $130,000 pot. Alberta needs a red ace, and it does not come. Kelly backs into a flush. and she's going to move it all in. And as Alberta just pretty much continue to call here with ace-king where she feels that she's committed, and she's going to make the call. Wow. And Kelly there, it looks like, is going to either double through. I think that Alberta is going to have some chips left. Yep. Alberta started the hand with about 20 or 30,000 chips more than Kelly did there.
Yeah, Kelly now, she is going to be an absolute force. She is probably up to about 130 or 135,000 chips. Alberta down to about 15 or 20,000. Really in bad shape.
Let's talk about that hand, Dave. It's interesting to note, a lot of people, when they watch the WPT on TV, they don't sometimes realize that it's 5 or 6-handed there. Do you think that Alberta thought that ace-king was almost the nuts here, even though she didn't even hit a pair? I mean, she kept sticking in there.
Yeah, obviously she did. I mean, obviously she really thought her opponent might have ace-jack or ace-queen or ace-10 or something like that. Probably didn't think she would raise the hand as weak as king-9 and figured, you know what, I'm going to call this girl down the entire way. And you know what, sometimes you look like a genius when you do it, and sometimes you don't. And unfortunately for Alberta, it didn't work out here. Now, the one thing you do wonder is, oftentimes we always say when somebody bets the river on a big pot, usually they have nothing or a monster. And Alberta might have been thinking that. She might have said, wait a second, why is this girl still betting? If she only had a 9 or if she had, pocket 7s, would she keep betting? Probably not. But in this case, though, she backed into clubs, made it an easy move all in.
Everybody that's new to the show, and I want people to email us, friends and family of some of these players, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Email us, tell us what you think about the show, and root your friend, relative on here as we're into about the first 15 minutes here. Blinds and antes are moving up. First hand of a new level here.
Wow, now we get a bump up here from Misuk in kind of earliest position with ace-7 offsuit. Real questionable hand. She's going to try to take control, though. She realizes right away that first place means so much more than second place. She's going to try to get a lot of chips.
Doesn't look like there's a whole lot out there here for anybody to get involved. Seat number 2 here on the button has 8. Well, it's ace-deuce folded there in seat 2.
Well, the funny thing, Bart, you and I obviously always do cash games on Live at the Bike, and here we're doing a tournament. And obviously, a much different strategy where ace-7 offsuit in a cash game is really worthless. In a tournament, when you put that money in and you're the first person in that pot, the ability to take down those blinds and antes is just too much. You've got to be able to steal those blinds and antes.
You have to, right. I mean, they're to the point where the blinds and antes are actually good money.
Yeah. I mean, 10,000. It's 10,000 chips. The blinds and antes here, and I don't think anybody's going to call her.
Now, did the antes stay the same here? Wow, the antes are 1,000 now, and the blinds are 3 and 6.
Wow, so
that's a huge hop there.
It really is. Now the antes will stay.
And look at this, Wendy is going to move all in. She's on the short stack with king 8. And Misuk here is going to be about a 62% favorite here.
You're exactly right, about a 61-39 favorite here. She's got 1 over, 1 in between.
I think Wendy was so short she just felt with the money in there, she was pot committed with any 2 cards.
Well, the blinds now, I obviously didn't realize it moved up, and nobody's hit anything yet.
Queen 9 deuce here with a couple hearts, so ace high is still good here. Turn is a jack. Well, Wendy could catch a king and 8 or 10 here to improve. And the river is a 4, and Misuk is going to win it with ace high, and she's going to knock Wendy out. Congratulations to Wendy, the first. She finishes this tournament in 9th place.
Yeah, our first casualty here, Wendy Strauss, and for that she is going to win. Does anybody know the prize structure?
Well, it's up on the TV up there.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, once again, we are at $1,000 ante, 3,000, 6,000 blinds. We are 8-handed now, so we're talking about. Wow, I mean, it's $17,000 per round.
Well, $625 she wins for a $125 investment.
Hey, that's great. So she wins $500 in cash.
Yep.
And I'm sure she had a really good time, put on a good show. Sometimes, when you're in the big blind, the blinds get so big like that. She was so short stacked that she had no choice.
Yeah, and Wendy's only been playing for about 3 years, and she's already placed a couple of times. First time she placed at the 2005 WSOP Circuit Tour New Orleans Ladies event. She came in 7th.
Wow.
And then at the 2006 WSOP circuit in Las Vegas, she placed the 2nd place.
Well, that's great. I mean, over 400 entries. She comes in 9th place. Really an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
She should be proud.
All in.
And we're going to see an all-in here by seat number 2, Timmy with ace-9. But look what Stella's woken up with in the big blind. She's got pocket queens here.
Yeah, a couple of ladies, and you know she's going to call.
Yeah. And Timmy has moved in for about 60,000 or so. And if Kelly wins this hand, she is going to be way in the driver's seat. She's going to almost have close to 180,000.
Well, I got to tell you, when it costs 17,000 for each round for every 8 hands, you're really going to see a lot of pushing now. These girls really can't wait around for a big hand. Ace-9, 2 off the button. I got to tell you, I probably do the same thing. Obviously, unfortunately for Timmy here, she's walking right into a couple of ladies.
So she's all in actually for 46,000. Now seat number 3 here has got deuce 4 off suit. I think Faline is just posturing.
Yeah.
Look at that stare down.
I know.
Jeez. God, I'm gonna go.
I'd be afraid.
And actually,
I just peed my pants.
It's actually it's Stella there on the button with pocket queens, not Kelly. I thought it was Kelly in the big blind. So Stella's got the queens here on the button.
Yeah. It's a pretty easy. I mean, I got to tell you, it's an easy move in here.
Yeah.
She's going to move in here, and she's going to be about a 2-to-1 favorite over. There they are, over Timmy. God, what a stare down by Faline.
So here we go. We're going to see, like Dave said, Stella's going to be about 2-to-1 here. Timmy does have 1 overcard. She does have the spade dominated there as well. Here we go to the flop. Jack 10-7. Well, Timmy could hit an ace or some sort of running straight.
Oh, there's the queen.
Turn is a queen here.
Yeah, but Timmy can catch here. She is open-ended.
9 or a king, but it does not come.
Actually, an 8 or a king.
8 or a king.
Right. She had a gut shot on the flop. The queen actually is actually a bad card for Stella, believe it or not, because it gives Timmy more outs.
Stella's a behavior therapist, and she lives in Glendale, California. She's been playing for about 5 years, and her boyfriend taught her how to play.
Well, that's great. Well, Stella just knocked out Timmy, and Timmy DeRosa is going to be our second casualty today.
Actually, I think that Timmy has a little bit left.
Does she?
Yeah, she's
okay.
got a little bit left.
I apologize.
Yes, she has.
She's got about 9,000. She's probably got about 4 hands. She's got to decide one of the next 4 hands, pretty much. I'm going to push.
Sounds like there was some interesting table banter there between Timmy in seat 2 and Kelly in seat 6. I don't know what Kelly did, but Timmy said, please don't talk about something during the hand. I couldn't quite pick it out.
Timmy is engaged to Lee Watkinson.
Oh, there
you go. That's why the email is Lee Watkinson.
Yeah.
Makes a little more sense.
He taught her how to play.
Well, then she's taught from. Then she is definitely got a lot of poker information to tap into.
Look at this crowd here.
Yeah.
Everybody watching the tournament here.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com.
And the next person that gets knocked out will be getting $790. And I believe Timmy is moving all in here. Now, she barely even covers a big blind. I mean, Teresa can call without even looking at her cards. And in this case, she's got 7 deuce.
No, she can't.
Well, believe it or not, I think she probably will call anyway.
Yeah, I think I agree
cards.
with you. Now, how much? We'll get the amount of how much it is.
I mean, I think she's probably... Yeah, it's 11,000. Teresa's already in there for 6.
Yeah.
She's probably getting about... I don't know what 6 to 7, 6 to 1 in your mind.
Well, with the antes in there, Dave, and the antes at what 1,000 now?
It's 17,000 around.
Yeah.
So there's 28,000. There's 28,000 in the pot. 5,000 to call.
Yeah, she's definitely has to call here.
She's getting 5.5 to 1 on her money, and she's laughing because she's like, I have to call at any 2, but she's like, I have 7 deuce. I got to tell you though, I still call here though. Unless you're up against like pocket 7s here, it's almost impossible for you to be more than a 5 to 1 dog, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
she's going to call.
I'm surprised she's taking this long because she's played a lot of tournaments. She has to call.
Yeah, especially because the extra 6,000 chips are not going to hurt her at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's going to just look at this. It's almost a joke, and she knows it. But she's a good tournament player, and she knows she has to call here. She's getting 5.5 to 1 on her money.
Right, with the blinds and antes. There she goes.
And she's live. She is live. Again, Timmy's going to be about a 61, 62% favorite here.
Actually, yeah, probably a little bit more because she's got the 2 overs. But you're right, though. Teresa's not in that bad shape. Definitely the right call.
Well, ace 9-5, king high is still in the lead here.
Yep. Teresa's going to need a 7 or a deuce.
Turns to spade. She's picked up a deuce-high spade draw now, and she could catch an 8 for a straight.
Right.
Here we go to the river, and it's a 5.
Not going to happen. And Timmy actually almost triples up between the antes and everything.
Yeah, with the blinds and the antes.
Suddenly she's back up to 35,000 in chips. And that's one of the great things about these tournaments is even if you are the short stack, if you win 1 hand or maybe 2 hands, you can go from the short stack to the big stack.
It's amazing that Teresa she had about 18 outs there, if I'm calculating right there on the turn. 9 spades, 3 more outs to the 8, and then 3 more outs to a deuce, or 3 more outs to a 7. Incredible, with 1 card to come.
That's a lot.
18 outs, 1 card to come.
Yeah.
She was probably only about a 60-40 underdog with 1 card to come, but unfortunately for her, it did not come.
Button moves over here to seat 6 to Kelly. And looks like the big blind here has got King Jack suited, Dave. You know, you wonder again with the blinds and antes this big, if there's an all-in from the short stack, I think that she will probably call over there. And that is in seat 8. That is Misuk. She's got about, I think, close to 80,000. Excuse me, Teresa's got the King Jacks. Kelly, excuse me, has got the King Jack suited in seat 6 there on the button. So she's probably going to make a move.
I believe the action's over. Is it on Faylene right now? Yeah, seat number 3, Faylene. We do not know what she has.
I know, you don't have choice.
Faylene's got to show us her cards.
Totally right. Still some.
7-5 offsuit here.
There you go. And you wonder if she's just looking to steal, obviously, here, but she's taking an awful long time.
Well, you know that Kelly's going to pop up a raise here on the button with King Jack suited for sure.
I don't see why she wouldn't.
Yeah.
One off the button. Wow, and she lays it down. Real conservative play. You know, you wonder, obviously,
No,
you
that's not Kelly there. That's
Oh,
seat
I'm
4.
sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I did the same thing you did.
Yeah, for some reason we're confused in seats 6 and 4 here
are.
today. Yeah. Ronnie's got it up, of course.
There you go.
And Kelly is going to...
Well, it's Kelly and Stella. Gets me confused.
She's going to make it 12,000 here.
Wow, that's a minimum raise here. I mean, that's kind of a real small raise.
She makes it 12,000 total. We have confirmation of that, right? Double the big blind. Well, that's going to do it, though, anyway.
Yeah.
She takes it down.
I'm not going to play that.
Now, at what point, Dave, though, do you have when you have 8,000 in antes, the blinds are 3,000, 6,000, which means the total dead money is 17,000. She makes it 6,000 more. So the pawn is now 23,000, 6,000 to call. Now, obviously, you don't want to be calling with a lot of garbage out of position, but it opens up the opportunity to call if you've got a deeper stack, right?
Well, of course. I mean, you've got the
Getting
odd.
4 to 1.
You're getting 4 to 1, but you've got to realize, obviously, that this is all about. A lot of times, tournaments are about survival, and you can't just throw 6,000 here, 6,000 there, 6,000 here because you get the odds.
And pretty soon you're going to lose them all.
Right, because remember, you can't rebuy. Now, obviously, in a cash game, it's an easy call if you're deep enough, because you can always reach back in your pocket.
Right.
You know, but once Misuk loses, she's done. She's got to go home. So she'd rather save that.
It's got a nice big hand.
And we have an all in here from seat number 9. She's got. I can't see the both cards though. She's got to show her cards again. I see 1 7. I see 2 7s, and I'm pretty sure Teresa is probably going to call this. Now she's all in for trying to get word of how much Alberta is all in for.
That's all I have.
She's all in for 6,000. Well, not only is Teresa going to at least call, she'll probably raise this to isolate. Faylene very deliberate with all of her decisions.
Yeah? What do you want?
Stella not going to get involved. Kelly,
What do you want?
yeah, I don't think Kelly's got much to get involved with either, but I'm pretty sure Teresa will at least call this and probably even raise to isolate. We'll see how it goes.
She's going to raise.
Now I got a peek.
Yeah, and she's going to get Misuk out here, and we're going to see a race here. Ace, Queen, and sevens.
Alberta's in the big blind here.
Right, she's all in the big blind with
Yeah.
pocket sevens. I mean, she got lucky enough to actually have a hand. So we're looking at about a $23,000 pot, and it's a race.
Yep.
Oh, good God, please.
Classic race, and Alberta's going to be a slight favorite here. And here we go to the flop. King Jack 3 here. Well, Teresa's still got over. She's got a backdoor heart draw and a gut shot here
A 4.
to the 10. So she still has a lot of outs here.
A 4.
Turn is a deuce.
4.
And the river here is a jack, and sevens
there
are
you
going to
go.
still take it down there. They survive.
She doubles up. Awesome. Alberta is our dance instructor on a cruise ship. She says she's going to teach me how to samba.
It's tough having fun.
But moves over here to seat 8. Again, we've got 3,000, 6,000 blinds with $1,000 antes. We want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, this is Live at the Bike. We stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 Pacific time. Now, people who are not archive subscribers can watch this for free, but if you want to save the show and watch it later on, you can actually click on the on-demand banner in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, especially to all the relatives and the friends of everyone here. Click on that banner, and you'll get to watch the show at any time. You also will get to watch some great cash game action.
Yeah.
So check it out.
And the cash game action has been absolutely, absolutely fantastic. I mean, we've had such names. We had Tim Fan in the game. We had Surinder Sunar in the game last week. Kenneth James. Barry Greenstein will be here in the next couple of weeks. Daniel Negreanu, Gavin Smith. You name it, they're here.
They'll be coming in for the main event, too.
Yeah, they're all here for the main event, and obviously most of the action is here at the bike. Now that the World Series is over, most of the big names are here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with the World Poker Tour coming here.
We had several of the pros popping in yesterday to say hello to the ladies. Barry came by, which was really nice.
Yeah, Barry Greenstein, obviously a real class individual, great ambassador to the game of poker.
Well, Faylene had ace-9 of clubs there. She was in the first couple spots, and she got rid of it in seat 3.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of it's about position, obviously. She looks like a pretty solid player. Maybe she doesn't want to commit her chips in such early position.
We're still playing 8-handed, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. Ace-9, nothing wrong with laying that down in the first 2 spots.
Now, Shaw's got 8-5 of diamonds in the big blind. Now, Alberta is short, and she's going to raise. Well, I don't know why she's leaving any chips left, because I think she's got maybe 1,000 left. I don't know why she didn't just push there, but she's got some blues left.
Yeah, now, I don't think Chow can call this still with 5-8 of diamonds. You don't really want to call your chips off, but is she committed? I mean, half her chips are in there already.
Shaw. And she is going to make the call here. And I guess we still have some chips there. Both these players are almost all in.
Pretty much, yeah.
Here we go to the flop.
Well,
I mean, I got to tell you, for Shaw with
Alberta
overcard and a gut shot, that's got to be probably good enough. And look at this. Alberta checks and Shaw takes a card. Wow.
Yeah, might have been a big mistake.
Yeah, I got to tell you, if you're Alberta here, I mean, what kind of flop are you looking for? You got a pair.
Well, we're talking about a 30,000 chip pot, and these players only have about 5,000 or 6,000 left. I can't imagine all the money isn't getting all in here.
Alberta's going to go all in.
Oh, of course.
Good job.
Alberta can't go anywhere here. And we're going to see Alberta being about a 2-1 favorite here. Now, Shaw can win. She can catch a 5, an 8, or a 7 to win this.
She's trying to steal.
Yeah, and we are all in. And Alberta has a little bit left, so she actually has 2 overcards and a gut shot here. She could catch a 7, an 8, or a 5 to improve right now. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a queen. Well, now all she needs is a 7.
7, and that's it.
Yeah, and here we go to the river. The river here is an ace, and Shaw is going to be knocked out here in 7th place.
Yeah, she is.
Or, excuse me, in 8th place, and she's going to win $790.
Yeah. Shaw, our second casualty, and for that she wins $790. Not bad. She takes home profit of about $665.
She's a semi-pro. Been playing 10 years from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Really? Wow. Okay. Well, congratulations to Shaw Byrne there.
Or not Shay, but there are so many women who traveled in from all over the country for this event.
The luck of the Irish woman.
There we
People
go.
from Canada, New York,
Well, I mean, hey,
Florida.
where else can for $100 you get a chance to be on the Travel Channel, and then a chance at $25,000, and if you win that, you got a chance at millions.
Right.
For $100. I mean, it's like the best satellite in the world.
Got an email here from JW. She said, just wanted to say Teresa Chang rocks.
Absolutely.
Juliet and Gineka and Santa Cruz are rooting her on. So cool you guys are doing this. You're doing a great job. That's why we want to welcome everyone to watch the show on a regular basis, not just for this event.
Absolutely.
Check it out. We usually do cash games. Rarely we will do tournaments. Look at this. Timmy's got a nice hand in the big blind there. Pocket 9s. 1 big blind this hand.
Now, look at Kelly, though. Kelly is going to raise this up with 6s, and you can't blame her. You know, any pair when you're 7-handed in a tournament is a pretty big hand here.
And she, again, is going to make a minimum raise here, Dave.
Yeah, that's her style, you know, that
12,000.
little min raise.
Pretty conservative.
You know, it's not necessarily a bad play. It's almost like the Phil Hellmuth School of Poker there when it talks about, you know, building up pots. Now you're in position against a player. But Timmy's going to move all in here, and Kelly's going to put to the test.
Yep. Now, the funny thing here is that when you make such a small raise, you sometimes induce a move against you. But the problem is, by making a small raise with 6s, you still don't really know where you're at because it's not that strong of a hand here.
Yeah, and I'm trying to just figure out if she has pot committed here. The pot is already going to be $41,000 plus. So it's 17 more. So we're talking about a $58,000 pot, 17 to call.
Well, if she's got chips and it looks like she does, I think she has to call here. Even if, you know...
She's getting more than 3 to 1 on her money. I don't know how she lays it down.
Yeah, I mean, if Timmy were to turn her hand over and she knew she could lay it down, but the possibility of 2 overcards is just too great here.
Well, I mean, you're only a 4 to 1 dog if she has an overpair.
Right.
So,
So Timmy is in great shape here. That's Leah Walkington's fiance to double through once again. Here we go to the flop. King 4 Jack, really good here for nines.
Yeah, and Timmy has it dominated in hearts as well. Running hearts will not help.
Turns a deuce. Kelly has two outs here, where Timmy's going to double through. And the river's a 10, and Timmy's going to double through there.
There you go. That's a nice size pot there. That was about I want to say a 71,000 chip pot.
Yeah, we asked Timmy how she would rate herself as a player, and she says she'll always be a beginner compared to her fiance. It's tough to have him as your measurement.
Right. Hey, well, at least you're always trying to climb up the ladder. You know what I mean? Always trying to improve yourself.
Email here from Shauna Byron. Now, people that aren't familiar with the show, we're actually on a 10-minute delay to protect the integrity of the game. She says, I'm in Scottsdale watching this tournament live. My mom is Shah, and I'm turning 11 this September. If my mom wins over 10,000, she will buy me a camera phone. I hope she doesn't get any bad beats. Unfortunately, she's already been knocked out of the table.
I got to tell you, your mom won $790. She can buy you a camera phone. Camera phones aren't that expensive.
I thought you were going to say there's only one person who wins over 10,000. She should have to win.
Got an email here from Valerie Hong saying, I'd like to say hello to Faylene in seat 3. She's our big sister. We wish her the best of luck. Love Valerie and the kids. P.S. She looks hot, and I have to agree, Dave.
Yes.
Button moves over here to seat 9. Teresa Chang, she's got an ace here, and she's in late position. Looks like she's going to make an open raise here.
Yeah, I think so. Now, the question is now when it gets over to Faylene, she's got pocket deuces. You know, sometimes you can push with pocket deuces. You don't usually want to call a big raise with pocket deuces. And look at this big raise from Teresa. She really knows how to play the game.
Yeah, she's going to make it 3 times the big blind. She makes it 18,000 to go here.
Really put some heat on her opponents.
She's not going to call that.
And, you know, Faylene, well, she's put in a spot here where she probably doesn't want to call this, although she is real deep. She could make a move and push back on Teresa because, remember, Faylene is the chip leader. It's one of those things where if she did push back, Teresa would be really hard-pressed to call with just A7.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone who is a regular watcher here in a cash game, we talk about, you know, pot odds and can I call if I've got 10 times deep. That stuff is really out the window here in this.
Well, of course, you almost never have 10 times deep in this.
Yeah, and Faylene is going to muck it there.
And nothing wrong with mucking that. I mean, obviously, do you really want to call off 18,000? Well, in that case, though, it would only be 12,000 more. You know, you're only going to hit your set on the flop, say, 1 out of 7.5 times. Is it really worth it? Now, if you do hit your set, yeah, you're probably going to get a lot of money, obviously, because you can check it. Teresa's going to put a continuation bet in there, and then you can check raise her. But those 12,000 chips are probably a little more valuable.
Blue chips are $500 chips, yellows are thousands, and I believe the brown ones are 5,000.
And those are our special Legends of Poker chips that have Jerry Buss and Frank Mariani, co-owners of the Lakers, on them all.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's Frank up there, and there's Jerry. And obviously during the Legends of Poker, we have our Frank Mariani and Jerry Buss charity event. It's a $1,500 tournament, I believe, it's a $1,500.
I think it's on Thursday, actually.
Yeah.
Nice hand here from Misuk in seat 8. She's got pocket 9s, but it looks like Teresa is going to raise. Now, Teresa's got pocket 7s. Now, Misuk, well, she's not, you know, what you'd say is short. She's probably got about 60,000, but she is dealing with Teresa, who has more chips than her.
Yeah.
Might she re-raise here?
Now, Teresa only made it, how much did you make, 15?
Yeah, about 2.5 times. Well, she made it 22, actually.
Okay, so she's actually upped it here, and wow, look at this nice, strong play here from Misuk. There you go, step it up. She brought her A game, and she's really pushing.
And again, I would imagine that Teresa's going to want to see a count here. She's going to bring the 22,000 and do some math out, see how much more it is. Maybe she feels she's going to hope that she's got 2 overcards here, and she makes this call.
The problem is, though, do you really want to call this? Misuk has enough chips, though, that this will cripple Teresa. This is going to cripple Teresa. If Teresa loses this pot, she's down to 30,000, and then does she really want to play it that way? I think she considers herself one of the best players in this game.
With the push, it's a $61,000 plot plus the all-in. So we'll try to get word on how much more it is here.
Yeah, I think you have to lay it down. I mean, I think you start looking at it and you go, I just don't think Teresa wants to put her tournament life on 2 7s.
Well, we're getting word it's about 70,000, so it's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Misuk's got a lot of chips.
It's actually 50,000 more. I don't think they brought the 20 in.
Yeah.
Well, the point is, it's a lot. And I don't think that Teresa's going to commit here with 2 7s. I mean, she's a good enough player where
She's
she'd
an
probably
awesome player.
get.
She's going to lay this one
She
down.
would want to get in on a better spot, Dave.
Well, that's the
You
whole
know?
point. I mean, okay, so maybe your opponent has King Jack, maybe your opponent has Ace Queen, maybe your opponent has Ace King, but okay, so you're pretty much 50-50 there. But if your opponent has 8s, 9s, 10s, Jacks, Queens, Kings, or Aces, you're a 4-1 dog. I got to tell you.
You know, and I think if I was in Teresa's spot, I would consider myself one of the best or better players on the table. And unlike the move that Jamie Gold made against Alan Cunningham at the main event this year at the World Series, where he did gamble it up with King Jack, because he knew he wasn't the best player and he had a lot of chips and figured he could eliminate him.
Yeah,
You know,
well, maybe. Well, he had so many chips. It's
Right.
ridiculous. I mean, I was actually going to point out, I was
He
like,
could take
if
the hit.
if you were in Teresa's spot, I would think you should gamble it up, because this is probably the best spot you're going to get in.
Yeah, right.
But Teresa,
Exactly.
she's a really good player. Now, our own Jay Siegel, the potato of Live at the Bike, he actually is, he does the summaries for all the Legends of Poker events. And it's really interesting. It must be really interesting for him. I'd love to get his perspective maybe later in the week, because normally he watches the final tables, and he takes the notes, obviously, and he only gets to see the showdowns. Now, in this case, obviously, he is in the booth with us, so he's seeing all the cards. Must make for a really interesting write-up. I'm expecting a dynamite summary for this one. All the pressure's on him.
Yeah, I think that job can get a little bit difficult for him. I mean, I remember going over there a couple nights ago, and he's like, "Oh, this is a dry final table," because a lot of the times it's just one move. He never gets to see the cards.
Right.
So it's just
One
like
person
push,
pushes. One person
push.
pushes. Everybody else folds.
Yeah.
One person pushes. Everybody else folds.
Right.
In this case, you can actually see what they're doing. Wow. Only 2 minutes left in this level, and the next level will be. I'm trying to get a peek there. It's a $1,000 ante for 8. Wow.
Somebody said that the levels are a half an hour, but and they are, because we started the first level. I think we only had about 10 minutes left
10 minutes
into
in,
it.
yeah.
I like that. I like how you do it. Somebody said that, and they are.
That's right. I was just gonna. I caught myself because I was gonna be like, how can we be already done with 2 levels? Now Teresa is going to raise it up here again. She's got Ace 9. Well, she's gonna raise it up under the gun.
Well, she's going to put some pressure. She never wants to get short stacked.
Wow, tough decision here for Faylene. Now we are playing 7-handed. She's got Ace Jack offsuit against an under the gun raiser.
I got to tell you, man, if Faylene moves in here, Teresa might find herself pot committed. I don't know. I got to tell you, I like Teresa's play, though. She's going to stay aggressive. She never wants to get short stacked. She doesn't want to let herself get blinded off to the point where she is not a force at this table. She understands that first place means so much more than second place.
It looks like she might only have about 40,000 there left, and Faylene has, again, she's got about 150. Can she gamble it up here? Make a push.
And the action is over on Faylene here. And it really is a tough play, you're right. I mean, what can you beat with Ace-Jack? Not much. Do you really want to race it up here? Teresa's got a lot of chips in the pot. I'm not sure if you can get her off this hand.
And Faylene is taking her time with every hand that she's had. Really methodical about the way that she's been thinking here.
But I got to tell you, for those of you...
She lays it down. I don't think it's a bad lay down there from an under-the-gun raiser at all.
It's not a bad lay down at all. And you got to hand it to... If you're at home and you want to learn how to play poker and better tournament poker, Faylene is probably a really good mentor there. She's really taking a lot of time, very deliberate with her decisions. We see a lot of beginners almost too impulsive with their decisions. And a couple things. This tournament is bringing awareness to go all in for the cure. It's a help against the fight for breast cancer. And we're raising funds in conjunction with the World Poker Tour and Susan G. Komen. And, it's one of those, breast cancer and cancer in general is generally... It's one of those diseases that I think touches everybody. You either know a friend, a relative, have a really good friend who's relative. I mean, something along the lines. Cancer has touched everybody. So this is really great.
Of course, our original third commentator, Shirley Rosario, is sidelined this year with breast cancer, and she's going through, and she's almost done with her treatments, Dave.
Yeah, I got to tell you, she came down for Legends. She played an Omaha event, and she looks absolutely fabulous.
She does. She was really tired last night when she left, but she said, I've got one more treatment left, and I'm going to beat this thing, and we're moving forward.
Wow, look at this. Teresa's got Ace, King of Hearts in the big blind.
And I got to tell you got to love it when you raise 2 hands in a row, right? And then the third hand you get is even stronger.
Right.
Because nobody will believe you now.
No.
They think you're going to be bullying them, but now you're going to really show down the nuts.
There's nobody there who has cards that can challenge her, though.
No, you never know, though. Somebody might try to steal, though, in a tournament, obviously. I mean, does Kelly try to steal this on the button?
Oh, Kelly.
Actually, she's in the small blind, and she's going to complete, and I imagine Teresa's probably just going to take this away right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, Teresa gave away 18,000 chips to Misuk, but she quickly gets them back.
I know. I'm pulling it in. Raising.
She's telling the wrong person. And Teresa is going to raise it up.
And Teresa's going to take this down.
Yep.
It's a good try on Kelly's part.
And by the way, you can visit www.worldpokertour.com to see how you can help the cause by donating or by bidding on items in their silent auction at www.charitybuzz.com. So once again, that's worldpokertour.com and then charitybuzz.com, and you can help the fight against cancer.
Some really great items on that auction, too.
Yeah. I actually won the media celebrity event at the World Series of Poker and was able to donate the $10,000 to preventcancer.org.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which was really cool.
Blinds are up to 4,000, 8,000 with a $1,500 ante.
Yeah, we're looking now at 10-5. We are looking, wow, we're looking at 22-5 for a round.
That's a lot.
Button moves over here to seat 6.
Pretty much, if you really want to look at it this way, it's over 3,000 per hand you play.
Now, I got to tell you, now, Faylene, she's played it tight, but at this point, she's got a lot of chips. She's 2 off the button. I'm probably going to make a raise here with this hand.
You know what, though? She doesn't have as many chips as she had before. Remember, she started out with 142,000, but she hasn't won a hand. Oh, she won one hand. She's probably down to about 125.
She does not get involved with the ace-deuce, and it would have been interesting to see if Teresa would have got involved with ace-4. Now, Kelly's on the button with jack-9 of clubs. She is going to raise, and that might make Teresa more apt to make a play here with ace-4, but if Faylene had brought in for a raise, I really wondered what Teresa would have done with ace-4. Now I wouldn't be surprised if she comes right over the top of Kelly here. And Kelly is going to raise it up.
Can't see what she...
And again, she's just going to min-raise it here, double the size of the blind.
And once again, Teresa really has 2 plays here. It's pretty much re-raise her or fold. You're not going to call with an ace-4.
Right.
And a button raise there. Good chance ace-high is probably the best hand here. Teresa thinking it through. And she's not going to get involved. Well, she's won. You know, she's won 2 hands in a row. She's healthy again.
Yeah.
Figures why not? I don't think Misuk's going to call this. Now, a couple of really cool things. Do you know? Obviously, if you like our show, obviously we do this Monday through Friday. You can subscribe, and Live at the Bike is going to donate half of the subscription price for all the subscriptions today to for cancer.
Oh, so this is a big
Yeah, it's really great.
That's awesome.
So again, if you like watching cash games, you want to improve your game, you can subscribe to this show. If you don't subscribe, you only get to watch a half an hour of the show per day.
Right.
But if you do subscribe, you get to watch the entire show, plus watch every show that we have ever done. You can click on the on-demand banner, and Live the Bike will donate half that money.
I mean, it's really phenomenal
to
when you think
charity.
about it. If you're not familiar with our show, we've had such poker players: Barry Greenstein, Kenneth James, Doyle Brunson, Men the Master. I mean, you name it, they've been on our show, and they've done guest commentary. So you get our insight and their insight.
Right, and I think that Live at the Bike is doing so much for poker players in general by having this opportunity to be able to watch these kind of cash games and to improve your play that we have made them our feature partners on our 2 new websites, which is Women in Poker, where women can go and profile themselves as poker players and blog their play and their experiences.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
And the other is Women's Poker News, which is the news website now for women, stories around women. And we just want Live at the Bike. Everybody watch Live at the Bike.
I'm going to have to stop being a male chauvinist pig then.
Now look at this.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Misuk has raised it up here to 34,000, 4 times the big blind. And Alberta's got pocket 5. She's in great shape here, and she's not that deep. I wouldn't be surprised if it just all goes all in.
I think this is a no-brainer move all in here. I think you have to. I mean, the odds are it's probably a race, obviously.
You know,
but you never know. And in this case, she's actually way ahead.
Yes, except for, you know, one of the things you need to know about Alberta is she is a stud player, and hasn't been playing No Limit that long. So
well, she
might not know it, but
right,
oh,
she
there
must
she
know
goes.
a pair in the hole is pretty good, though.
There she goes. Good job.
Yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer here. And I don't think Misuk can lay this down. I'm gonna assume.
I don't think it's not even. It's barely. I don't even know if she covers it. Well, I guess it's another 1,000 or so. Misuk's got ace-3, so she is going to be about a 2-to-1 dog here.
Yeah, and we're going to see about a 80,000, 75,000 chip race here.
Yep.
Five's way ahead.
King 8.
Here we go to the flop.
Oh, there you go.
Jack 8-6, so pocket 5 still way out in front here.
Yep, Misuk's going to need an ace, and only an ace here.
Turns a 4. She still needs an ace and only an ace. She's got 3 outs here. And the river's a queen.
And look at that, just like that, Alberta is really healthy again. She's back up to 75,000 in chips. Now, a couple things that are really cool. We were talking about how you can bid on some items. A couple of the items that we actually have in front of us you can bid on. We have an autographed poker pads, which is autographed by such greats as, hold on. I mean, I'm looking at this. Okay, we've got Antonio Esfandiari. We've got Phil Locke. We've got, man, I'm just looking at this. We got Vanessa Russo. We've got Frank Hamann. World Series of Poker final table. I mean, Phil, they're all here. Here it is.
This is really cool because if anyone isn't familiar with this, it's like it's a mouse pad with like poker felt.
Yeah.
And it comes with like a little stack of chips to practice like your chip stacking while you play on the computer.
And we also have this really cool original piece of art. It's called Life's a Bluff, and it's a rendition of the World Poker Tour Ladies Invitational. And it's going to be signed by the ladies in the event. And here it is.
Wow. So cool.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Then they get to put their name right in that little question mark.
Right, and once again, it's all for a good cause, obviously. It is all to raise funds to fight breast cancer. So know
Very,
that whatever
very cool.
you do bid is going to a great cause. Let's get back to the game.
Button moves over here to seat 8. Again, we're 4,000, 8,000 with $1,500 ante. Boy, that ante made a big leap here in these levels.
Oh,
really,
man.
really big.
The price of poker is really going up. 22,500 chips per 7 hands.
It's funny, I want to ask you, Kelly keeps making these minimum raises, and seat number 8, who was always in the big blind when she does it on the button, Misuk, she's just folding without a second thought, but you wonder if you can call one time and just throw out like a quarter pot-sized bet on the flop.
Kind
and
of
maybe
a little,
take it down, like
a little stop and
prober.
go.
Yeah.
Well, you got to realize that if Kelly is raising without a pair, she's only going to flop a pair 1 out of 3 times. So the odds are, if you do put that little, if you do complete the raise, and you put out a bet, the odds are you're going to win that because she probably can't call you with queen high or king high.
Now, we are playing 7-handed. Stella's in second spot here with ace deuce. She's thinking about doing it, but she's not going to get involved. And I assume that Kelly here is going to raise. Let's see if she's going to make it 16,000, which is her standard double big blind raise.
That's what it looks like it is again. Well, actually, yeah, it is 16,000 again. You're right.
And again, I want to point out now for the big blind here, which is Timmy this time, she's getting almost 5-1.
Right.
Can she call and put out just a bet on any flop and possibly take it down?
Pretty much you're calling the 8,000. It's called the stop and go. You call the 8,000, and then regardless of what flop comes out...
Well, she's just going to come over the top all in.
Well, that's a play, too, and I think it's going to work here. Obviously, the aggressive play never works, never hurts, but what she could do, and you're right, is call and then literally just put out, say, a 20,000 chip bet, and it's going to be really, really tough for Kelly to call unless she hits a queen or a jack. And even if she hits a queen or a jack but a king or an ace fall, it's going to be tough to call.
Now it's fun. Well,
calling.
yeah, she's going to call. I don't think, Dave. I think it wasn't that much more.
No.
And the funny thing about Timmy making that move is some people, Timmy might think she was weak by raising only twice the big blind, but she's been doing it every time she raised.
She has.
So it's not really, you can't really deduce anything.
Yeah, big gamble there by Kelly, calling off her chips with queen jack, but
Kelly's
she's the best of
pretty
it.
conservative.
And Kelly's still good here with queen high. Timmy
Yep.
made the move with 8-9. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a king. Timmy needs a 9 or an 8 here, or I think she's going to be eliminated.
Yeah, she is.
And the river's a 6, and that's it.
And
Nice. Kelly does.
and unfortunately, Kelly's is pretty much, she's back up to almost over 100,000 chips. Timmy DeRosa, though, she is going to be our third casualty. She gets knocked out in 7th place, but makes herself $955. Really impressive.
See her going away there with the Lee Watkinson full
Yeah.
tilt shirt. I mean, I just wanted to point out there was a couple things going on there with that hand. Again, before Timmy even made that move, if someone's going to be raising that amount all the time, by moving in, you don't gain any information by their raise size, as opposed to somebody that varies their raises with the strength of their hands.
Well, that's the whole point. It's one of the reasons why we always talk about not to really change your raises based on what cards you have. You might want to change your raise a little bit based on who's in the pot, who's called, how many chips you have, stuff like that. But you don't want to be changing your raise amount because, okay, well, I have aces, so I'm going to raise differently than if I have queen jack.
Speaking of aces, look at seat number 8. That's
I tell you, man.
Misuk. And Teresa's got an ace, and I think Teresa's definitely going to open raise here with ace-8 when it gets to her in seat 7. She's been aggressive all day long. And she is going to be in big, big trouble here.
And we are 6-handed here.
Yep.
Down to the final 6. And you can't fault Teresa here. She's 2 off the button. They're 6-handed. She's got ace-8. She thinks she probably has the best hand. And she is in a world of hurt.
She's going to make it 20,000. She makes it 2.5 times the big blind here. And it looks like with Miso's stack, it's probably just an easy push. And I think Teresa's pretty much committed here with an ace. I don't know. I mean, if she can go anywhere.
I don't think
I
so.
think she's going to fold.
I don't think she's committed at all.
I don't know. I don't know how many. I thought that it looked like Miso only had.
She's still got 50,000 in chips, though. You got to realize, though, Bart, if it's not a matter of like in a cash game, she can't rebuy. Those chips that are in front of her, she only has about another 45, 50,000 chips, but you can't just throw away 40,000 with a hand like ace-8.
Right, but I think that you're looking at the wrong stack here. I think it's only like maybe 30,000 total more.
I got to tell you, I throw it away anyway. Those 30,000 chips are just too valuable in a tournament. You can't throw those away. You know what I mean? If she calls this and she loses the hand, she is pretty much done. She's out. I just think it's far too valuable. It becomes more than an odds question, really. If she had 150 or 200,000 chips, yeah, it's an easy call. But when she's down to, say, 65, 70,000 in chips, I think it comes to a point where you can't commit that many chips. And you can look there. She's got 40, 50. I mean, it's going to be another, say, 35,000 chips. I mean,
well, again, it's a question
of
how much Teresa has left there.
Yeah, I mean,
she's got 50.
She's got 50. I mean, she's only going to have 15,000 left. That'll just completely cripple her. I don't see how she can call this.
She'll wait for a better hand.
Yeah, I mean, because right now she's still in okay shape. Remember, it's 22,000 to play around, but she can steal the next hand. She can steal the hand after that. Mm-hmm. She's got to know here she's probably got 3 outs at best. She's either up against a bigger ace or she's up against a pocket pair. And obviously in this case, she's really in bad shape.
Call.
And
wow, she calls, and I got to tell you, I'm real surprised. I'm really surprised she called that.
And she's in terrible shape here. Obviously, this is the absolute worst that she could see here. Aces against ace-8.
Yeah.
And she's going to get crippled unless she gets really lucky.
She needs a lot of clubs or a lot of 8s.
A lot of 8s.
And no help yet.
She needs running cards, running straight combination, or running 8s. And that's it. It's over.
Yep.
Yeah, and Misuk is going to double through here. And Misuk's up over 100,000. And I got to tell you, I love Teresa. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world. I've been friends with her for a long time. I think it was a bad call on her part.
Yeah.
And I think she knows it. It's one thing if you have 90,000 or 100,000 in chips, but I think when you only have 50,000 left, to commit 70% of your chips, calling them off with a hand as weak as ace-8 offsuit, hate to be second-guessing. Obviously, it's easy for us to do.
I don't know. It's really, really tough there. I mean, you do have a point because she's so crippled there. But
well, that's the thing. I mean, pretty much she's got to push in now on one of the next 2 hands.
I definitely don't think it's as clear-cut as what you were saying, at all. But that's the great thing about this show. We don't always agree.
No, well, that's the great thing about poker. You can get 5 or 6 or 10 great poker players, and they'll all come up with different ways to play a hand. You can never stop learning. In this case, obviously, I'm right and you're wrong. But hey, nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you're talking about how the fact that obviously pot odds in a tournament, you're always not going to take the best of it because you need to have chips and need to survive.
You do.
But if I did it out in my head there, and she was getting about 4.5 to 1 there, and I know you're saying that, well, if you lose it, you lose it. But I think Teresa is trying to win as well. And if she folds there, she's not in great shape either. I think she'd almost rather maybe risk it and try to accumulate chips. We see it all the time.
Right. Nothing wrong with gambling there. Obviously, she's got to know that she's got to know that she's far behind. At best, she's a 2-to-1 dog.
Email here from Sandy Peatley. Thanks for the call, Lupe. I'm watching now, and it's great. I'm sure the other chicks are watching too.
Oh, great.
And we had an email here from Rob and Kathy saying, my name is Kathy Kelly, and I was the bubble last night, went out 10th. I just want to say
Kel.
thank you to the bike, and especially all the ladies in yesterday's tourney. It was a wonderful experience, and I'll definitely play next year. Well, Faylene has played it relatively conservatively all day long, and she is in, it looks like, the small blind, and she's got an ace, so she's going to raise it up, obviously.
Yeah, and obviously still not going to call this with 9-3 offsuit.
Well, how much more is it here?
Hey, it's another 10,000 here, but I mean, you got 9-3.
She's not going to do that.
Well, it's another 8,000, is that right?
She min-raised here,
Yeah.
so it's another 8,000 here, but, once again, you just got to look at it and go, okay, well, what's your plan after the flop?
Yeah, 9-3.
Yeah.
I wonder, though. I'll put this out at you. Getting 5-1 in position with any two cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep disagreeing with you on this. I don't think it's an odds question. I don't think in a tournament it's as much of an odds question. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
She's not going to get involved.
I think
there.
the chips are too valuable. I just don't think you can throw away 8,000 here and 8,000 there and 8,000 here and expect to win. Because what's going to happen is on the flop, undeniably, your opponent is going to do a continuation bet, and then what are you going to do?
Well, also, the issue, though, too, is that, this tournament seems a little bit, the blinds and antes are so high that she's got about, say, 65,000 left in C4. If she commits 8,000, it's a lot of chips.
Yeah, really, that's the thing. I understand, obviously, in a cash game, it's so different because you can reach back in your pocket. But in a tournament, obviously you want to win, but it is really about survival as well. You got to pick a better spot. And I got to tell you, I want to be pushing. I don't want to be calling.
Right. You want to be the aggressor.
Hey, if I push in with 9-3 and somebody calls me, okay, hey, I put them to the test at least.
And Teresa's moving all in. And Kelly is in the big blind, and Teresa's moving all in with a king. And I'm sure Kelly is going to call her when it gets around to her.
And nothing Teresa can do, obviously, there. She had crippled herself, and she's in first position.
Right.
She knows the big blind was the next hand. And she basically said, you know what? This king high is probably going to be better than the next hand I get. I'll commit here. And you know what? She's got live cards. Now, the question here is Stella going to get involved, though? And Stella calls.
She calls.
Wow, with ace high. It's not a bad call.
My gosh.
Now, if Kelly were to play it really smart, Kelly could either
She'll go
move
to the top.
all in to isolate, or she might smooth call, and Stella and Kelly might actually check it down, try to knock Teresa out.
I don't think that they're exactly thinking that
She
deep
said
at
she's
this
raising.
point, Dave. It's only a couple $100. The difference. It's not like we're playing at the final table of the World Series of Poker when it's $6 million.
And I think Kelly just called here, and we are three ways. Well, Teresa can triple up here.
Wow.
Yeah, Kelly
Surprised
did.
she didn't pull off.
No, Kelly is going to re-raise, Dave. She
Is she?
announced raise.
Well, that's
Yes,
actually
she
the
did.
best. Teresa's got to love that because now not only is she getting 3-1 on her money, but she's got protection.
Right. Yeah, she gets two people in there, and inherently one person is going to fold. So she actually gets that other person's money as well.
Exactly. That's the best way to do it there. And in this case, Teresa is not in that bad shape. It's about a 60-40.
And how much more is Kelly making it here on the side? Looks like another 20. Another 20,000 here. Well, if we were talking about 9-3 being a laydown, I just can't imagine. Stella's got to understand that Kelly is making this move against two players here. There's one all in.
Well, Kelly also can't be bluffing. Remember, Teresa's all in here. She's going to have to show her hand. It's not a bluff.
She folded.
And we got ace-queen here versus king-7. And Teresa's got live cards, and she's got live suits.
So here we go to the flop. Kelly against Teresa. This is for Teresa's tournament life.
Oh,
There's an ace in the door now.
Oh, well.
Teresa's got a gut shot.
She can also catch running hearts.
Jack.
Turns a 9 here.
A jack only is going to do it here, or Kelly is going to knock out Teresa Chang.
And the river's a 10, and Kelly does it.
And that's it.
Okay.
And Teresa is out in 6th place. She will take down $1,290.
Yeah, and my tournament favorite here obviously went down in flames. Now you got to realize, obviously, with the blinds and the antes being so large, even though Teresa started the final table second in chips, the pressure was on her right away. And we are 5-handed here. Once again, we are live at the bike. This is a special Sunday, August 20th show. We are doing the final table of the ladies' event. The winner of this will be invited to the World Poker Tour Invitational, ladies.
Special note, after this level is done, players are going to take a 10-minute break. We will then get the exact chip amounts.
Okay.
And, wow, look at this. Pocket kings and pocket queens. Oh, seat 3 there, Faylene's got queens. And seat 4, Stella's got kings. And luckily for Faylene, she has a lot of chips, and Stella doesn't have that many chips, so she's not going
But
to
she'll
get that
double up,
crippled.
hopefully, here.
Really, really lucky for Faylene. That's the kind of stuff you need to happen, though,
Yeah.
when you do get dominated with queens against kings, because everybody's going to lose their money with queens here.
And
you have to
again,
get lucky enough that you're not going to lose it to the chip leader.
look at Faylene taking the same amount of time that she took with a hand that she knew she was going to fold. Very, very deliberate, methodical.
She plays like a pro, and she's only been playing under a year.
Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with Faylene's play. I'm really impressed with how deliberate she is with all of her decisions. And she is going to raise it here. Wow, pretty big raise here. She makes it 20,000.
She's going to min raise it here to 16.
Oh, 16 only, okay.
Yeah, and Stella's going to obviously push here, and it's an easy call for Faylene. And again, unless Stella gets incredibly unlucky here, Stella is going to double through.
Wow, and look at Kelly's chips there. She has got well over 100,000, and look at Misuk there. Two players that have really taken control of this table. Now those brown chips, what are those?
Those are 5,000.
5,000, thank you.
15.5 to call.
Those are the pretty chips.
So it's 15 more to call.
Yeah.
And, hey, hand it to Faylene. She's going to take her time, though. Every decision. She doesn't want to make any rash decisions. And we are going to have what looks like about a 65,000 chip pot.
Yeah, kings against pocket queens.
Wow, we got ladies versus the Cowboys.
And Stella's got the spades dominated here as well. Here we go to the flop.
Oh! Whoa!
Queen right in the flop there, and Faylene takes a huge lead.
Right in the door.
Turns to 10. Well, Kelly's picked up a straight draw. She can catch a jack or king here on the river. And it does not come, and Faylene breaks Stella there.
Yeah.
And Stella goes out in 5th place, winning $1,625.
Wow, $1,625, not bad. She wins a profit of $1,500 and gets some great TV time. Really impressive. Great showing by Stella. Nothing you can do there. You get your money in with the best of it.
Yeah, she
and,
did the right thing.
And Faylene obviously does nothing wrong there either. She's got queens, but it's always painful when you're you're one hand away there and you're looking at it going, oh man, I had kings though.
And we are down to 4.
4-handed here, and I got to tell you, we've got 3 pretty big chip leaders here. We've got Faylene with a lot of chips, Kelly with a lot of chips, Misuk with a lot of chips. Now, and Alberta is kind of, she's just kind of hanging on there. And we are 4-handed. The next person to get knocked out will win $2,125. First place, by the way, is $12,000, and the seed into the ladies' World Poker Tour Invitational.
Well, obviously, hand values go way up now, 4-handed. This does play more like kind of like a TV table that everyone sees.
Of course. Any king is a pretty big hand. Aces are a big hand. Any pocket pair is huge.
Well, it's going to get folded around to the blinds. The big blind has king 3, and it looks like Misuk has completed, and Alberta is just going to check. Now, that might be a raising hand in the big blind. Heads up.
I got to tell you, I might move in there.
Yeah.
If somebody just completes there, I might move in with king high.
We're going to see a flop. Well, there's a king.
And Alberta well in command here. Now, let me ask you this. Would you ever check it once and try to induce a bluff? Remember, you probably have the best hand here. You're going to move in anyway. Now, remember, if you move in, can you get called by a hand worse than yours? I don't know. Can you get called by a 4?
I think that, we pose a lot of questions, strategy questions there, but I think that question specifically is really player dependent. If Misuk is not the type of person that is ever going to bluff, then there is no point
good point.
to checking the flop.
Good point. You might, once in a while, though, you might want to check that, especially in a tournament when you are short-stacked, willing to gamble a little bit. You figure you probably have the best of it. Maybe I can check one time, either induce a bluff or just put a little bit of doubt in my opponent's head. Maybe she'll catch a pair and she'll commit more chips, and I can double up. Obviously Alberta's going to have to double up at least once here to get back in the game.
Again, Butt moves over here to seat number 8.
Once again, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hanson and the lovely Lupe.
Oh, yeah, wake me up.
And we are 4-handed here, and it is ladies' final table here.
Well, it's once again folded around to the blinds.
We started with 9 phenomenal players, and we are down to 4.
Well, Alberta is going to complete. And the only thing I got to say, if I'm going to complete with 6-3, and I don't raise there, and I choose not to fold, I just got to bet the flop no matter what comes out. You have to have a plan here.
You are betting that flop regardless. And you know what? You picked up a pair. I'm definitely going to bet the flop, but I'm going to bet it no matter what.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little stop and go there. And she's going to bet, wow, 20,000. The funny thing is, by just picking up the blinds a couple of times, you're right back in the game.
Right.
Yeah, the blinds and the antes are so high here.
Yeah. Right now, you look at it, the blinds are 4,000, 8,000 with a $1,500 ante. It is 18,000 for 4 hands. We're talking 4,500 a hand, pretty much to play. There we go.
So
nice shot of the clock.
Got about 5 minutes left here in level 15. $4,000, $8,000, $1,500 antes.
Do you have many women playing in the cash games?
Surprisingly, we actually do. We've got a couple of ladies that come out and usually do really well. You know, obviously, poker's still a male-dominated game, and I would probably say, and I would probably say, 85 to 90% of the players that we see on a daily basis are men. But we always love to see our regular women that come in.
I can see one ace here on the button, so that's going to be enough. Looks like ace deuce suited here.
Wow.
For seat number 9, Alberta. She's going to move in.
And Alberta's on a tear here. She's won 2 hands in a row, and she's going to go for 3 here.
Makes it 28,000.
She's suddenly starting to get chips now.
Yeah, she is.
And that's how quickly it can turn in a game like this.
20 more thousand to call.
So it's 20,000 more here to call. Now, we always talked about how it's not necessarily a pot odds decision. Kelly's got a lot of chips. She's going to see a flop here.
That's different. Now, in this case, exactly. Kelly can throw 20,000 chips in there, and it's no loss to her at all. If she loses this hand, it's no big deal. But,
now,
hey, if she wins it, she can knock somebody out.
Would you check here if you hit and bet if you miss? Remember, we talked about short stack theory. Queen 5-4 here with a couple diamonds.
Man, see, now this is one of those times, do you want to just put a little stop and go out there? Is she going to? As she looks at it, and if she puts a little stop and go in there, it's really going to be tough for Alberta to make a call. And look at that, nice strong bet. Wow.
Wow, well, remember Alberta had called with ace-king. Alberta beats her into the pot for 25,000.
You wonder if Alberta and Kelly have some history where Kelly was bluffing her earlier in the afternoon.
Turns a 7. Well, Kelly's picked up a straight draw to the 8 now. Alberta's in the lead with ace-high. It's a 70,000 chip pot here. I mean, Alberta beat Kelly into the pot there. Actually, Kelly does not have a straight draw there. But Alberta still has that wheel draw, and her hand is good with ace-high.
Ace-high's good here. I mean, Kelly in terrible shape here. I mean, she's going to be pretty much a jack or a 9, and that's it.
And it goes check on the turn.
Wow.
Well, Alberta's going to give her the card.
And the river's a deuce, and that's good there.
Now, can Kelly represent diamonds? Can Kelly represent diamonds? The thing is, as you remember, you saw Alberta call down with ace-king. Do you really want to fire? Look at this.
How much do you want to bet? Side bet. She'll call her.
I mean, you got the way Alberta's been playing. You got to imagine this is not the woman you really want to be bluffing.
Betting 30,000.
And she bets 30,000, trying to represent the diamonds. You got to hand it to Kelly here. She's really going to put the heat on Alberta.
That's about a 25% pot bet here.
Yeah, and Alberta really can only beat a bluff. I mean, that's all she can beat. Any hand that Kelly would bet here is got to be obviously better than pocket deuces, or she's bluffing.
This would almost put Alberta all in. She might have about 10,000 left if she makes this call.
And if she makes this call, though, she might be the chip leader.
She's doing it.
Oh, this is a real tough spot. And she calls!
Wow, she makes the call with a pair of deuces.
What a call. Kelly is going to hand over 30,000 chips. And we are taught, and look, and she proudly turns over nothing. I love that.
Well, the only problem here is we talked about how Kelly had a lot of chips. She could make the call, but you don't want to bleed away, say, 40% or 50% of chips like she did with that hand, though.
Well, she ended up losing 80,000. Remember, she called the $20,000 chip raise pre-flop. She bet 30 on the flop, and then she bet 30 on the river. She ended up losing 80,000 in chips, and I got to tell you, she's still got a lot of chips. But Alberta now is right back in the game. And we have 4 ladies, and I got to tell you right now, I have no idea who's going to win. I mean, I got to tell you, don't miss one hand here because the action is intense.
That is amazing.
So we had a post here on 2+2 here. Of course, the thread, Eastern Bloc, saying, depending on the pot odds, if Teresa was getting at least 3-1 odds there's no way she should fold. And again, that is the point that I made. Dave disagreed with me. With incomplete information, as long as the range of hands that she could have had is not exactly just aces, it's an easy call. And I have to agree there.
Yeah.
You immediately said it was a mistake. I disagree with you.
I'm gonna stick with my gun there. I think in a tournament, especially in a tournament like this, where you look at Alberta, she's just survived. She survived. Now she's won 3 hands in a row, and now she's almost a chip leader. You've got to realize that survival in some cases is more important than looking at the pot odds. And Teresa had to know that if I call this is my tournament life. That's pretty much what it was. If I call this, my tournament's over. And I got to tell you, we'll just agree to disagree.
Well, I can.
No wonder why you don't win any tournaments.
I can break the tie. I'm siding with you.
There you go.
course, easier for us to say when we can see the cards.
Well, obviously,
You know.
and there are times to gamble. You know, there are times to gamble. You know, hey, if you have 150,000 in chips, hey, gamble it up, especially if you're getting 3-1. We've seen Barry Greenstein do that and talk about it.
Yeah, she still had plenty of chips
Yeah, she did.
to be able to wait
Exactly.
for a better hand.
Well, Faylene here is going to raise. I mean, we're playing forehand, and she's going to use her chip stack, going to bully it around. She's got Doyle Brunt in hand, 10 deuce here.
Another thing with Teresa is Teresa's such a good player. She's so experienced that if it got 3 or 4 handed, Teresa can really, really use her experience to kind of take it over, I think.
That's the only thing that, you know, if I was in her spot, that would make me think, because of the fact that I know I'm the best player. Basically, if I'm in Teresa's spot, I know I'm the most experienced player. I can pick a better spot.
Right, like I said, Bart, if I was you, if it was me, I'd probably make the call. But if it's Teresa Chang, you know, I say, you know what, I can pick a better spot.
So we're in between here, level 15. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we will be back. We're going to color the chips up, and we will have exact chip counts for you. We're down to 4 here.
Yeah,
we'll be back in a few here at Live at the Bike.
Make sure you come back.
Or should we just move them all in? And you can see 3, 4, and 5.
Everybody wants to sit down. Yep. I just want somebody to verify this.
This ring is so pretty. See the ring?
Oh, did we get one of those?
The lady that wins this wins the
Oh
ring.
my goodness.
Go ahead, give me a.
Want some? 10,000 a stack. 30. 35,000. 35,000.
Okay, so then just move them.
20. 30. 35,000.
Oh, I can't believe.
Right.
Did you see that? My deuce. You saw it?
We all saw it.
No, this is
We're
my
all
friend.
shocked by it.
This is my friend.
Played it beautifully.
Thank you. Oh, well, she's such a presser.
Yeah, we take those shots too.
20,000.
So you'll be able to jump in with Denny.
Oh, okay.
20,000.
Master? No, definitely. It's great. I mean, I gotta tell you what, we got 4 girls that all have chips now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
They're all pretty close.
Yeah.
That's that last hand. We're so glad
Oh, shot.
I was like, shot. Look at him going, Zio, Gio.
Got one. She take that check, please, all right?
You need more? You got enough?
I should have enough. Actually, I might need I might need about 2 more. Or 1 more.
The new one that they put in there, I bought that specific radio. So I could do what we're going to do. We're going to move
4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5,
3, 4, 5, 6. John.
55,000. I need 1 more chip and a yellow.
Yellow.
25. I should need 2 more chips. I got 45. 55 right now. 50 and 5. 55. Right?
Okay, go to the bike tag.
55 and I need a yellow for the race on. 2 chips.
We got a race up. Race up.
Don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. 1 card here, 1 card there. Actually, yeah, 1 card here, 1 card there.
You want me to call it? 1-1. 3 is easier to get from over here. Well, we have 4, right?
Move them. We're going to move them.
You can do 3 and 4, and then 6 and 7.
What if they don't want to move?
3, 4, 6, and 7, Donna. Leave 5 open.
This is too stressful.
3, 4, 5's open.
6 and 7.
5.
Oh, that's even, you're right, because you could get a car. We got space at the button. I guess you do have more.
6.
We want to move them to 67.
Yeah, you're 10 minutes behind. That way so you can see the cards as well.
20.
You see us on television. Is it true that I put up 20 pounds on television?
Is that ring over there?
Oh, this is great fun. I'm glad she did this. I told my daughter and my girlfriend, we want to do the next job. Just to learn the game. To learn the game. I'll put it on. Oh, I know. She's got every book in the She wants the ring. She told me that ring is You see the ring?
Wait, what's the staff? Is this,
There's a ring.
how much is the staff?
120, 139. And,
Well, that's it.
40, 179.
It's very nice. She's gonna like it.
120, 140, 160,
Actually, I'm over there.
140,
I didn't know I have to
60,
come.
80, 100, 20, 135.
Well, she's having a great time. She is number 4.
116?
Yeah, we're having some laughs. That's a lot of fun.
In order to get 6, is that why you were suggesting 7?
Okay, thank you.
So I wanted to get like the players who walk
Poker's version of Lillifair. All right, Cal, you ready? I just talked to your buddy. Tristan. He's all excited. Good, just stay focused. There's not many people, there's not a big difference between first and last now, so. You're either one or, you're number 4 or number 3. Probably number 4, but again, it's one hand.
One hand. So,
So what are they going to do? They moved everybody around so they're all to us?
so they're all close.
I hate that. They come on the outside so we can watch.
TV. It's about TV.
Oh, it's about TV? Well, let's go home and watch it.
It's about TV and promoting women's poker. They don't care about you.
Good.
Okay.
You're in the right seat. Yeah, you were normally here, right? Yeah, you go there.
Oh, it's that? Oh, they moved her. That's why I didn't have the chip down right.
They move here.
Okay, I've got 10, 5.
Move them so we could film it better.
We win this if we
Yeah,
win.
that's right. You do that.
May I see it?
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's just a, try to but just play with it. It should be all right. Okay, Mike.
If he wasn't the king of one.
Wait, is this my
I don't think she can afford to have flash.
That's you.
That's you. They moved everybody around. Mine is still on that.
35,000 calls. 1.5 to 1 would be 170,000. Maybe she's getting almost 3 to 1.
No, I would probably.
And it wasn't even close yet. I was saying it wasn't even close.
I would just say I don't want.
No, because she only had to just be another 30 to call. 35,000 to call. Okay.
And she was 24 and 24, 48 with the blinds and the antes.
Maybe the top was 100,000?
Yeah.
So 100,000, 35 bucks. You're getting less than 3 to 1. Much different than 4.5. Or less. It's a big difference. 4.5 to 1, but 4.5 to 1, even if I have pocket 5s and she has pocket 8s, I'm getting the right huts.
I think you just gotta look at if I'm dominating.
It's just like what type of player you are.
Yeah, not how many chips like not 60, 70%. And that's I'll think about it.
I'm looking at it going, you know what, I'm getting 3 to 1.
The next hand I come in, I can be a bigger chip, but I'm going to get outplayed.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm getting 3 to 1 and it's still ideal, Cal. But if I'm sitting down with just 60 hours, when she calls it, she knows the next hand.
All right, ladies, take your seats.
Oh, you got some chips here, huh?
I think they moved you.
They moved?
They moved everybody together.
Thank you.
100.
Tell the lady behind you.
Cool.
You guys ready?
Alberta, nice comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Nice comeback.
Believe it. You gotta look at the over God, you know.
Well, it's Sunday here. They're lucky I'm here.
Yeah.
Sunday at noon. You should still sleep.
Oh, that's you? Yeah, in my purse. What purse is the big one? Someone has my purse, right? Hi! Do you have my purse? Here, give it to me just so I can... I could use a new coat with ice. I had that many rounds?
Okay, Kel.
Are we ready?
Almost. Okay.
Yes. 1 second, please.
That means about a minute.
So these are 20,000. These stacks. 20, 40.
All right, kiddo. Focus.
I'm playing at the bowling alley.
That's it. I like the bowling alley.
It's my phone. Someone go out, turn it off. Is he your husband?
Yeah, I can get your Pepsi, so he's not here to turn it off.
You should take it. You're not live yet.
Are you her husband?
No. I work with her.
You sound like her husband.
Her husband's right over here.
You went to get the...
He's the quiet one, so they invite me over to make the
He's the
noise.
noise. You sound just like a husband.
Yeah, I think you have to go to chicken.
She ordered chicken. I think they called
Can I
you all
see the
back.
ring?
It's in your...
You get a ring also. Then you can put diamonds in it. Here. Thank you. Would you like one?
I'm sweet enough. That one's mine too.
Hello, everyone, and we are back here. We're off of break. We are going to go to a chip count. We've got 4 people left, and we've kind of tightened the table up. 629,000 total on the chips. Alberta there was moved over to seat 6. 199,000. Faylene with 179. Kelly 135, and Misuk in seat 5 with 116. We've kind of tightened the table around to the middle.
Yeah, I got to tell you,
Cut the ends in.
these this is anybody's game.
And we got blinds and antes of $2,000 antes with 6,000, 12,000 blinds.
So 612 with 2,000 antes. So we're talking 18. We're talking 26,000 for 4 hands. We're looking at about wow, man. We're looking at over 6,000 a hand.
Is there any move? Is there any movement? Can we see a flop here at all?
I really do. I think we can. I mean, remember the blind you're 612. These ladies, I mean, Faylene's got almost 200,000, and so does Alberta.
I know.
I mean, I don't think a raise might be to 30,000. I think if you move all in, there's definitely a raise, re-raise type play here.
Well, here we go, and it looks like we've colored up. So the yellow chips are thousands, and the browns are 5,000.
And it is anybody's game. I got to tell you. I mean, look at this. 116,000 is our short stack.
Oh yeah, it's anybody's.
It's really exciting when you get down to 4 players, and it's not necessarily just one person going to win the whole thing.
Wow, and Faline picks up a really big hand here, four-handed right off the bat, and she acts methodically again. She's got 2 red 9s. It's funny, Kelly's got King 8 offsuit. That's a hand that actually, I want to say Alan Groening. I can never pronounce Gehring. Alan Groening is the Simpsons creator. Sam Groening.
Same difference.
Yeah. He called that all in heads up against a really aggressive player.
King 8 offsuit.
This is, of course, four-handed.
Right, that was heads up.
Yeah, get out of it.
And I believe, I'm trying to think of, how much did she raise here?
28,000.
28,000.
So a little under 2.5 times total.
Big enough raise to really put some heat on somebody. And you'll see now, I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility somebody could call this. I mean, especially Alberta. She's got 199,000 in chips. She's got enough to play with. Now, in this case, I don't know if Alberta's obviously going to call it an 8-5 offsuit. She seems like a pretty solid player.
Well, as Lupe had said earlier, she might not be as experienced as some of the other girls if she plays a lot of stud.
Right.
She's a stud player, and she doesn't play no limit very much.
Right, so she might not know that she can make that call and maybe lead into the pot with nothing just because she has so many chips.
Right. Now, Faline, and the thing is, but nobody has that many chips. I mean, now Faline's the chip leader.
Right.
Just one hand. Faline is now the chip leader.
Anybody who takes down the pots and antes is going to
become
the chip leader.
Well, every hand has
26,000.
26,000 in dead money.
Right. So just right there, Faline adds 26,000 to her pot. Alberta actually lost 14,000.
12,000 in the big blind plus the 2,000 ante. Yeah. But moves over here to seat number 6.
Once again, everybody has over 100,000 in this match.
Yes.
Well,
now, seat number 7 here has got a real interesting hand. Seat 6, I'm sorry, Alberta. No, Alberta's in seat 7, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's actually got 9, 10 of diamonds. And that's not a bad hand at all to really push with in a small blind.
Yeah, because it gets folded around to her, and she is going to raise. Wow. Well, I think she's pretty much just committing herself. I mean, she's going to make it like maybe close to 100,000 there, something like that.
Yeah, now clearly she is committed. No matter what your opponent does here, you are obviously going to commit.
Right.
You're not going anywhere.
That's a call.
Aileen, I don't care. She has the look that she's going to possibly call you. I don't care what she does.
Right.
She's got an amazing poker face.
She definitely takes the same amount of time and has the same look.
Right.
No matter what any hand, you wonder at some point. We always point out when we have people in the cash game, we're like, come on, move this along. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm all for it if there's even a remote decision here. I mean, you got 9 deuce offsuit. Obviously, you're not going to call your chips up with 9 deuce offsuit.
Well, maybe she just likes her camera time. Some people do.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, Teresa was actually expressing her frustration with it. She was like, it's only 30-minute rounds. We don't get that many hands. Come on, move it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she realizes that she's burning off the clock.
Right.
Which is,
doing.
bad for everyone, bad for her as well.
Right.
Well, depends. I mean, just get less hands.
Yeah.
And obviously not going to call that. Makes Alberta sweat it out, though. Once again, whoever gets knocked out next will get $2,125. Third place is $3,120. Second place is $6,200, and first place is a whopping $12,345. Plus, they get to play in the World Poker Tour Ladies Night Invitational against Vanessa Russo, Erica Schoenberg, Jennifer Tilley.
Again, a follow-up post here by Easterblock saying, Tuck, if you read Harrington on Hold'em, the real mistake is raising that much pre-flop to put yourself in that position with Ace-8. If you're not going to make the call with Ace-8, don't raise with it. I'm not saying raising Ace-8 there is a mistake, but folding after doing so certainly is.
Raise.
I mean, I guess the thought also is if you're going to commit yourself with a raise, then why not just move all in? You know what I mean? Instead of that way, you don't let your opponent think they can get you off the hands. I mean, if you know you're pot committed already. We get a raise here out of
65.
Misuk here. She is going to make it 65,000 with ace-5 offsuit in the cutoff, and I believe that should be enough to get it done. Kelly here with the old 4-7 of diamonds. I don't think she can call. It's a nice blackjack hand, but not necessarily a good hold'em hand. She throws it away. Once again, you are watching a special edition. This is Sunday Live at the Bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen and the lovely Lupe. And you are watching a ladies tournament here. Final 4 we are down to. We started this at noon. And if you're not familiar with Live at the Bike, we stream live cash games Monday through Fridays from 7 to 10 Pacific time. If the thought of a couple $100,000 on the table being flown around with bluffs and great calls and stuff like that, if that's what excites you, you really should check out the show.
Well, you got an ace over here. Under the gun, ace-4 of diamonds. Definitely a hand that you're probably going to push with four-handed.
Yeah, you imagine so.
And that is for Alberta. She is going to raise. Wow, she's just grabbing a stack of brown and just putting it in there.
Yeah.
I don't think she knows how much it is.
And obviously there's a decision to be made. See, when you're raising with a hand like ace-4, you've got to really decide, okay, what am I going to do? We always talk about being like a chess match. What will I do if somebody re-raises me?
$70,000 raise. You know, it's so funny because I would actually rather see Alberta err on the sense of not knowing how much she's raising, err on the sense of raising too much as opposed to too little, because we've seen inexperienced players not know how to bet no limit, and they bet so small that it makes no sense. At least she's betting more.
Right. Well, I mean, it's interesting. You talk to a lot of the tournament pros. They talk about, against some players, if they know that when they raise that they are pot committing themselves, oftentimes they will actually just move in now because they don't want to let their opponent. They don't want to let their opponent think that maybe they can get them off the hand.
Right.
Because something like, I mean, I'll give you an example. Let's say I have 100,000 in chips and I make it 25,000, right? Or let's say I make it 35,000 or 40,000, and I know I'm committing myself. And let's say I have ace jack or something like that. I don't want somebody making a move on me with pocket 3s or pocket 4s. I really don't. Now, if I move all in, it's really difficult for somebody with pocket 3s or pocket 4s to call me. And we got a big hand here. Wow. Big hand here for Alberta with pocket 8s.
The other thing, too, is if you don't move all in, they might call to see what happens. They might call with 9-10 suit and then get in there, stick it in there if they hit a 9 on the flop.
No, exactly. And there's certain times, especially there are certain times of a tournament where, you're happy just taking down the blinds and antes. I mean, you look at it right now, it's 26,000 a pop. And I think they just folded.
They did. They folded over to her.
Yeah, so she never got to raise that one.
That's fun.
She'll take it. Any way it comes to her.
You always like the walk. But once again, if you want to subscribe to Live at the Bike, Live at the Bike is going to donate half of the subscription price for today to fight breast cancer.
Wow, pocket jacks here for Faylene in the big blind, and an ace there for the under-the-gun player in seat 4. That's Stella. And let's see if Stella's going to raise it up here with ace-deuce. Now, again, we are dealing with $6,000, $12,000 with a $2,000 ante.
Yeah, that's actually Kelly.
Kelly, excuse me.
I'm looking, I'm like, is Stella still
gone.
in? Yeah, I'm like wondering the same thing.
I was looking at the old seat 4 there.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Thought maybe Stella came back. I'm like, is this a rebuy tournament?
Well, she's going to make it 40, Dave. That is more than 3 times. You wonder if she's just going to... I think she's pot committed herself here.
Well, in this case, I really do think Kelly has. I mean, she probably had about 100,000. She's put about 40% of her chips in the pot there.
Yeah.
I think when Faylene moves all in, I think Kelly's going to call.
She only has about 50 or 60,000 left.
And I think she probably has to call. But that always begs the question, would you rather just move in then, if you're going to pot commit yourself anyway?
Well, or make a mini race.
Right, either or, exactly. So you can get away from it, or you can't get away from it. But obviously, this is pretty much a no-brainer for Faylene. 4-handed pocket jacks. I think she's going to move in. But obviously...
Raise 40 more.
And Faylene's going to min raise here 40 more, and that is going to pretty much put Kelly all in.
That's already in.
And wow, we're going to see a monster pot here. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 180,000 in chips. Unbelievable. Now at this point, now that you're already 4-handed, I think there's a little bit more of an impetus to gamble it up.
So Faylene has made a mini raise back?
Yeah,
or she's just going to push in?
No, she's mini raised it back to 80.
Okay. Very interesting.
And actually, she didn't even have. If she really wanted a mini raise, she didn't have to raise it that much. She actually could have raised it like.
And Kelly calls, and Kelly's got about maybe 10,000 left now.
And we have what is about 180,000 chip pot here.
887. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kelly's completely
I'm just
messed.
surprised the money didn't go in. I always find it a little bit humorous. And Faylene checked the flop.
She checked it and then she check raised it.
Yeah.
She checked all in here.
She check called her.
Yeah, and Kelly in terrible, terrible shape.
Yeah.
Kelly's going to need an ace here. Running diamonds will not help.
I think she was hoping that the tie was good.
Running deuces or an ace. Here we go to the turn.
And
Turn's queen.
this is a 200,000 chip pot.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And here we go to the river. Kelly needs an ace. Oh, that's sick! Sick! And the poker gods speak.
Kelly took a hard swallow there.
Wow.
Well, that was almost like a little swallow. She wasn't even, she almost felt guilty about it. You could see it in her face. She was like, I'm excited, but ooh, I feel so bad for you. I'm sorry. And look at that. And just like that, Kelly is probably our chip leader.
Wow. That's the whole tournament right there.
Oh, well, Faylene would have had about 280,000 in chips.
Yeah.
And suddenly Faylene is really on life support now.
Yeah.
She is down to, I want to say, about 67,000 in chips. She would have had about 267,000 there. Wow.
She is
unbelievable.
Stone cold rock.
And look at Frank Mariani. Frank Mariani looking up at everybody laughing. Ha 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 ha. Button moves over to Alberta.
You know, it's funny. We have an email here from Oliver, and Oliver is a guy who writes a lot up on 2+2 regarding financial deals between online sites and TV poker. And he was saying for the first time in WPT Ladies Night history, each player will be allowed to wear a 6-inch square logo, the industry standard sliding scale that Full Tilt and Absolute pay a player to wear a logo at a WPT final table is believed to be $15,000 for 6th place finish to $50,000 for a 1st place finish. I'd love to be able to watch the bidding war on camera. Well, I don't see anybody here now trying to bid for somebody. But
well, that's impressive.
They don't. I have never seen any of them pay for Our Lady.
Well, that's right, but this is the first time, remember, that the WPT is allowing logos.
Right.
So that's what he's bringing up is there anybody here that is looking to scoop up somebody to wear a logo?
Wow, so you wonder here, they
better sit back, because I got to believe that Kelly is going to wear the Lips Tour approved logo if she wins.
Well, it might be worth,
even if she's offered $50,000 from, say, PokerStars.
You know, she came through the ranks through Lips Tour, and I think she might. But you know what? I can get Full Tilt to say, let's co-brand, and we'll do it.
I mean, she might wear Lips Tour with Full Tilt. But
right.
I gotta tell you, as much as I do support Lips Tour and I love you, if I can win $12,000 for first place, a chance at a $25,000 seat, and then a guaranteed $15,000 for 6th place.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, as much as I love Lips, I'm gonna wear that.
I agree.
I'd wear a dress for $15,000.
You would?
Yes.
Okay, ladies.
With a garter belt. And a corset.
Alberta's going to raise here with King 7 suited.
And Kelly with a pretty nice hand, four-handed here. And you got to realize, obviously, Jack 10 suited might look really pretty, but four-handed, high card is usually more important.
Dave, again, though, Alberta has brought it in for $75,000.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Six times the big blind.
Kelly's got to know. Kelly's got to know that Alberta's probably pot committed here. She probably has at least an ace or maybe a king in her hand, or maybe a small pocket pair. If you have Jack 10 there, do you really want to commit those many chips out of position?
Yeah, I think at this point, the way that Alberta is playing, you have to just wait for a high-valued hand, not get involved here with this big of a raise.
Well, it's one of those things we always talk about. Like, I love 4-5. I know I love 4-5 suited, but when you're playing four-handed, three-handed, those hands go way down in value.
Alberta takes it down there.
And Faylene there. Oh, poor Faylene. I mean, obviously, the poker gods giveth and they take it away. Obviously, we saw earlier she got lucky when her pocket queens, when she spiked the queen against Stella's kings. But in this case, obviously, the Faylene does not get lucky, gets unlucky, and loses what is a huge pot. Let's see if she can rebound.
Wow, couple aces here. Ace queen for the small blind, ace deuce for Alberta in the big blind.
And Misuk here.
Faylene is going to push all in. We need to see her cards. She's got 6-3. Well, Misuk is going to at least call. She might even re-raise to isolate. We'll see.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Faylene in bad shape here. And unless Faylene gets lucky, we're going to be down to 3.
Now, how is this going to be played out here on the side between Misuk and Alberta? You always talk about how there's kind of that hidden silent rule that sometimes you call and check it down to eliminate a player, and now we actually are getting into more serious money. So would they do that?
Yeah, well, in this case, though, she's going to know I have ace-queen. I'm moving in. I'm going to put the tester.
Right. One of them was going to do it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, only thing Faylene's got going for her here is that Misuk had one of the aces.
And by the way, this is a 140,000 chip pot. I mean, this is a huge pot right away.
Faylene can get lucky here.
Faylene, she has live cards. She gets lucky, she's right back in the game, and suddenly Misuk is in trouble. Well, neither player helped there.
Yeah, King Deuce 9 here.
Running diamonds or a 6 or a 3.
Turns a jack. Faylene's a 6 or 3, or her tournament is over. And here we go to the river. And the river is a 9, and ace high is going to win it, and Faylene goes out in 4th place.
Good job, Faylene.
She'll win herself
really good job today.
$2,100.
Yeah, $2,125 for Faylene Huang. She really was very impressive. I got to tell you, I've learned a lot about poker from watching her, in the sense of taking your time, not making too rash, impulsive decisions. Really impressive. And unfortunately, like that, sometimes when you're in a tournament like that, it comes down to one hand, and you just get unlucky. Nothing you can really do about it. And there were 3. And we are down to Kelly Griggs in seat number 4, Misuk Cho in seat number 5, and in seat number 6 or 7, you can actually call it, seat 7 there is Alberta Damas.
Yeah, we're playing 3-handed here. Again, first prize is $12,000, second is $6,200, third is $3,100.
And there's a big step up now. Now this is where the real money starts coming in. I mean, if you wanted to just climb the ladder here, now obviously first place is where it's all at.
Wait a minute, they're talking about making a deal here, Dave. I was wondering if this was going to come into consideration. Now, obviously they have a lot to play for the winner anyways, but they might make a money deal here.
Well, first place is worth, God, if you're telling me the truth that you can get $15,000 from Full Tilt or something, first place is worth like $28,000 plus an appearance on TV.
I want the ring. But the ring is the prize. No. We split the money.
And this is interesting because seat number.
Well, if you guys, since I'm the highest, you should give me a.
Well, it would be based on chip count.
Yeah,
Based on chip count is how it's worth.
And they're talking about splitting the money and then playing for the right to be on the WPT Invitational, which obviously this is
and obviously the ring as well.
They're very common in tournaments.
I'm going to tell you though, I was never a big fan of making chip deals based on chip count. Now, in this case, with the blind so high, it's a luck fest. But a lot of times, you got to understand that if you're the short stack, you get a little bit gypped if you do it by chip count.
Well, of course. Well, and what it comes down to is oftentimes you'll do a chip count deal, and let's say, for example, there was 3 people here, and I was the shortest chip stacker, and they offered me $3,500. Well, I'm not going to take that because that's only giving me a profit of $380. And I go, no. If you want to take $500 out of each one of yours purses and then give me $4,500 or $5,000, well, then suddenly becomes worth it for me. And obviously, those are how deals and negotiations work.
Figure it out. Take me a couple minutes.
Okay. Let's see how much it is.
Take your edges back.
And apparently, they're probably going to chip. They're going to trade up the money here, chop it up, play for the ring, and for the right to be on TV on the Travel Channel.
That's where some confusion is. Alberta says, you know what, I want the ring.
My name is George. I'm the producer of the World Poker Tour.
I'll make a deal. How about they split the money up? She gets the ring, and I get to be on TV.
In the ladies event for the
How can that work out?
So, whichever one of you 3 ends up winning the tournament, also next week on the 31st, we'll play at the World Poker Tour table for the national.
Well, this guy is telling them this. How can they not possibly know this already? I mean, are you kidding me?
And in that tournament, whoever wins that tournament wins a $25,000 season.
I mean, does Alberta not know this?
Championship next year at Velocity.
And does seat 6 looks like she's interested.
Yeah,
Really?
I know.
Thought I was just playing for a ring.
How about the deal that Oliver just emailed us saying that? How about the sponsorship that comes along with this? They don't know.
They have no clue about sponsorship.
But they know about that they're going to go on to the WPT.
Well, that's because we've been telling them that forever. That's the whole premise of this tournament. So they don't understand about sponsorship. This is not.
Now, speaking of the World Poker Tour Ladies Night Invitational,
oh my gosh,
I've become
might get in there.
I've become actually pretty good friends with Vanessa Russo, Jennifer Lee Genocide's been on the show before. We also have Erica Schoenberg. These players and Jennifer Tilly they will be on the Ladies' Night
Yeah, let's go
World
through
Poker
that
Tournament.
lineup, Dave, because I have it in front of me.
Really impressive.
The other five players, of course, starting off right away, we've got Jennifer Tilly, who is the returning champion. She's going to be on the show, as well as Erica Schonenberg, J.J. Liu, Vanessa Russo, the winner of this event, as well as Anhit Galajian. who I'm not familiar with. Are you familiar
I
with
am,
her?
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Very, very good player. And
Anit's got 246,000 in tournament wins from her results.
All these women have placed in OWPT final tables.
And you got to hand it to, obviously, Vanessa Russo is kind of funny. You and I, we were down at the World Series of Poker. We were kind of partying with her and Jennifer Lee over at the Bodog party.
You were stalking her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing how many times you've mentioned Vanessa Russo.
Well, the funny thing about Russo, though, we had her on the show, and we interviewed her, and I got to be honest, after the big story we heard about her and Liz Liu, I thought she was, I really thought she was an absolute bitch.
Oh, before you got to meet her, you mean?
Yeah, I thought I was like, who is this girl? I was like, how can she, come into the scene and act like this? Who is she? How rude and how presumptuous and how, cocky. But after meeting her, she's really down to earth and very cool.
So they're still continuing to try to do
necessarily who we are as a person.
No, definitely, obviously. More than one person might think I'm a jerk if they actually play poker with me.
Didn't Genocide and Vanessa Russo say that they were going to kind of do like a version of like a fun little strip poker on our show?
We've gotten a commitment from both players. We've gotten a commitment from both players to play strip poker on Live at the Bike at the end of the month. So keep tuned.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sign up for the archives. Subscription. Click on the on-demand banner.
Exactly. And I know Jennifer. It was her birthday a little while ago. She actually said that I could pick out the lingerie she will wear for strip poker. So I'm really looking forward to that. No, that'll be a private session, Ronnie. I'm sorry. And obviously they are working out a little money deal here, figure out exactly what they're going to make.
Again, though, there is really quite a lot to play for first place here.
Of course, it's huge. I got to tell you, obviously the money's important, but for me, I'd want to be on Travel Channel. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not. They're gonna play it out. Obviously, this is just for the money for this.
I would actually even give up. I would take third place money if they gave me Travel Channel.
Can you imagine if you could almost convince the other two, here, I'll give you guys $3,000 each as long as if I win.
Well,
if I win the tournament.
Right now, there is approximately 21,000 chips and $21,000 at stake. If I were to say to them, listen, you guys each take 9, I'll take 3, but I get to be on the show.
How about if you went and said, you guys take all the money and I'm just the winner? I would do that too, but I think it would maybe sound a little bit fishy.
Give me a little money. I'll take my 3. I can give them 9 each.
Now, how much? There's no spread here.
Let's listen in here.
7,060, 6,068.30, and 77.65.
Even shot would be.
And the updated chip counts, by the way,
72.15.
they are almost exact here. We have 202,000 chips for Kelly, 190,000 chips for Misuk, and 238,000 chips for Alberta. They are almost identical. We're going to be talking pretty much $7,000 a piece.
I don't care. I do. Up to you. I'm asking you questions.
I just say
There'll be a
we
few
chop
odd
it 3
chips
ways.
on
It's
nickel
an
or
even one. And then we play for ring and WPT.
Two people get
Does he
72.
want them?
Stick to that number, not the 3-way.
Okay, we play.
No, I want
Chip
3-way
count.
even. I'm 3-way even. I think it's fair, and I'm going to make a very large donation to.
And they're close enough in chip count there. I think they're actually deciding just to, why not let's split the money up evenly.
Split.
All right, good.
Three-way chop. Okay, 2 people get 72.20. One person gets 72.15.
You're going to be 72.15.
I get $5
Okay.
Alberta Cafe.
Playing for the ring.
I got that chip. I got $5 more.
Playing for the ring.
So they're going to chop it up.
Realize it's high enough.
They're going to chop it up 3 ways.
We play for ring
call, lady. Congratulations.
money-wise, and then we're going to play it out for really what is a very important amount of possibility of more money, as well as the ring.
And the really neat thing is that when you not only win a seat for the WPT, they'll get on the stage for the WPT Ladies Night, but they also get involved. If the winner of that will get to go on for the Celebrity Invitational.
And a small guy, big guy. How much?
The button moves over here to seat 6. So we're playing three-handed here. And, like I said, at this point, I think that's actually a pretty good money deal because this is pretty much just a push fest.
Right.
This is almost like a turbo sit-and-go, Dave, when you talk about playing in the satellite, the World Series of Poker. You get to this point so you can chop because there isn't a whole lot of skill involved right now. There's a lot of proper pushing and proper calling with a lot of very marginal hands because of the...
I mean, unless you have the expertise of somebody like myself.
Right, of course. Right.
Then obviously you wouldn't chop it up.
It's going to fold the ace-8 in that situation. That's expert. Misuk is going to raise it up here with ace-jack of hearts on the button.
Hey, she lost. Where's Teresa right now?
It's very funny. I'm not going to pretend to know all of the situations, but there's a lot of stuff that I read that these guys that specialize in turbo sit-and-go, online situations, that there will come a point, and I think it's in the next level, where you should probably be pushing with absolutely any two cards here. And you might even need to call with any two cards when you're in the big blind. Because of the chips, the blinds, and the antes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think you're underestimating. I mean, each one of these players has 200,000 in chips. The blinds are only 612.
Yeah, but what's the next level, though? That's the question. If it hops up to 15,000, 30,000...
Of course, that's a pretty big hop up from 612 to 1530.
Maybe we can get confirmation of what the next level is.
1530 obviously would be a different thing. 612, though, I still think these ladies can play poker.
Not so good.
I mean, obviously you can't sit around and wait for pocket aces or any pocket pair.
No, they can't. They can't. They're going to have to push in with their good cards.
And the next level, actually, I'm getting confirmation. It's 8,000, 16,000 with a $2,000 ante.
What's that?
It's 8,000, 16,000 is the next level.
So it does make a pretty big hop. But
it's a big hop, but I mean, you can still play some poker. I mean, you got, like I said, 200,000 in chips these ladies have.
Well, at this point, they're going to have to play the player.
Well, at least the ante hasn't been... I mean, the ante seemed like it had been doubling and tripling. At least it's only going up to...
Right.
8,000, 16,000, 3,000.
I mean, right now it's 26,000 to play a round. It's going to go up to 16 and 8, 24. We're looking at 33,000 a round, which means these ladies can still play 4 or 5 rounds, which is only 12 hands, obviously, but hey.
Butt moves over here to Kelly in seat 4. Kelly got really, really lucky with that ace-deuce.
Yeah, really, really. But hey, that's what it's about. You play well enough to put yourself in a position to get lucky, and that's what she's done.
We have an ace here for Misuk in the small blind, and she's going to raise.
Now we gave you our big blinds. How come you do that? Silly goose.
I think she called her a silly goose.
Yes, she did.
I don't think I've heard that since like my grandma. You silly goose, you.
Is Alberta English? She English?
No.
No, she's... Sounds like she had somewhat of an accent.
Bart Bart likes to bash the British as much as he can.
Especially when you start talking like you have a British accent. Start calling you Madonna or something like that. Butt moves here at seat 6.
I tell you, man, I got to deal with you Monday through Friday.
And now it's Sunday.
I hope I'm getting like triple pay on Sunday.
Triple time.
There you go.
To deal with you on a Sunday? Oh, man. I need the 2 days off from you.
She's kind of a character. I asked her, I said, if you ever thought of going pro, and if so, what needs to be in place for that to be happening? And she goes, sure, I'd like to do it, but I have to have an inheritance first.
Now, Alberta's got a king high in the small blind. King high is actually a pretty big hand, 3-handed, and in this case, she's got Kelly absolutely dominated. And she's just going to call. She's going to complete.
Well, what is her plan, though, here on the flop if everybody misses?
Well,
how about she hits top pair?
Well, I might check it now. I actually might check it. Well, she's going to take it down right away here.
Buy them. You just get them automatic. That's not good.
And Alberta adds to her stack here. And Alberta is the chip leader, by the way. Remember, Alberta was a short stack when we were 5-handed. Took off a big pot off of, I want to say that was earlier. That was actually Kelly. A big pot off Kelly when Kelly tried to bluff her.
I don't know if Ray can get a chance, but it's actually amazing when I walked out there. If you look at the crowd behind, there's like 100 people there with like their cell phones. Luckily, we're on delay. They're just itching to try to tell these ladies what the other people had.
Right, of course.
Pocket 10s here for Kelly in seat 4. Major, big premium hand.
Raise it.
And she is going to raise it up here.
Well, you know, it takes something like the Lips Tour and the World Poker Tour and the Ladies' Night to raise some awareness about Live at the Bike.
Raise 60,000.
And she is going to raise.
God forbid anybody watched it just for us.
Yeah. It was really great watching Live at the Bike over at the World Series Expo.
Yeah, you enjoyed that.
That was really fun. That's better.
And the button is going to slide on over to Kelly, and seat 4 small blind is 6,000, big blind is 12,000. Once again, the ante is 2,000. And once again, each one of these players has made about $7,000. They are just playing for the ring, they're playing for the championship, and they're playing for the right to be on the Travel Channel. And Misuka is going to raise it up here. She's going to put some pressure on Alberta, but she's got an ace high here. Good enough to raise it up. And you imagine Alberta is probably going to lay down the jack high. And these girls are just really just rotating the money around. Have not really seen a confrontation yet. Now, a lot of people always ask us why we don't have more tournaments on our show. One of the reasons we don't, obviously, is every time you turn on the TV, you're always watching poker tournaments. And one of the things we love about showing the cash games is we get to see a lot of post-flop play, a lot of turn play, and a lot of river play. Now, unfortunately, obviously, when you're watching a tournament, like in this case, you don't get to see very many flops. So when we're doing it, our show is live, it's unedited, it's unscripted. You got to realize if we're going to do it live here, it might not be that interesting night in, night out.
And, of course, we always like to interact with our fans. I'll get to it in a second here. We're just going to have a big hand. We have 2 people with aces here. Kelly's got ace-8 of hearts, and Misuk has ace-5 of diamonds here.
Now, in this case, actually, the 8 will play, I mean, more often than not. You know, we talk about sometimes the cards don't play. The 8 is one of those, like, it's kind of right in the middle.
But there's a good chance it might be a chop.
Right,
also.
exactly. It's right in the middle where the 8 probably plays about half the time.
And look at this. Kelly is going to just complete.
And we're going to see a flop. There it is.
And Misuk, yeah, she also just called.
Wow, 2 diamonds there. Big flop from Misuk.
Wow, excuse me. Actually, I think that Kelly put in a raise and Misuk called. Excuse me, Misuk put on a raise on a button and Kelly called.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened. Wow, and Kelly's going to move all in here.
Now, this is missed. Funny. Kelly is missed here. She's moving all in. Misuk is going to call, and you can look at it. It's almost 50-50 here. It's pretty much a coin flip. And you talk about sometimes, obviously, we don't run the river and the turn more than once in a tournament.
Right.
This is pretty much a coin flip. Look at the percentages, folks.
Wow. Because if Misuk misses diamonds, the ace-8 high will play with
exactly.
this board.
Misuk is going to need a 5 or a diamond.
Turn is a jack.
Oh, wow. Now Kelly has picked up hearts.
Yeah, Kelly's picked up a heart draw now. And the river is a 7,
and the 8 plays.
Kelly's going to win it with ace-8.
The 8 will play here.
Cover too,
and Kelly has got, oh, wow. I
think Misuk has her slightly covered, but Kelly's really going to cripple Misuk there.
Oh, wow. That's the first big hand of the afternoon. 3-handed. This is absolutely phenomenal. And Kelly there. You know, I got to tell you, you wouldn't want to call with ace-8, but you push in with ace-8, you put the heat on Misuk. You know, and pretty much that was a coin flip.
It's funny, I've just seen Kelly make that move a couple times. She's really betting flops that don't necessarily hit her.
Yep. And we're still 3-handed here, but Misuk is absolutely crippled.
And the other great thing about Live at the Bike is the interaction. You can email us at liveatthebike.com. If you get familiar with the show, you can post up on a live thread on 2plus2.com. Sounds like Scott Groves, who actually filled in as a commentator here a couple times last year, saying that Live at the Bike isn't a good show, or isn't a great show, but just good. Well, Scott Groves, you know what I want to tell you.
Well, Scott was part of the C team.
Right,
so
right. The C
can't
team.
expect much from him.
Yeah.
Raise it, give me 6 first.
And Misuk's got pocket 10s here.
Been raised.
And Kelly's going to raise it out of the small blind, and I assume that Misuk is just going to push here.
Well, I got to tell you, though, Misuk right away, it looks like she's going to double up again, though.
She has to.
Yeah.
Well, look at this, though. She's still got 40,000 in chips. She wins this hand. She's back in the game again.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And this tournament might go on forever.
Well, Misuk is a pretty big favorite here, obviously. And here's the other thing about a suited connector. She's got the big-time straight blockers here with 2 10s.
Yeah, she really does.
Here we go to the flop. King, 3, 5. Well, Kelly's going to need to hit some sort of running cards here.
Oh, wow, there it is at 9.
She can catch an 8 or a 9.
8 or 9, and that's it.
The river. Oh, River's an 8, and Kelly just knocks
her out.
Suck out after suck out after suck out. Wow.
I got to tell you, sometimes it's just meant to be. Sometimes it's just your tournament.
That's right.
You know, and sometimes it's just you can't miss. It's your time, and I got to tell you, it looks like Kelly's time here. Now, Kelly's probably got close to 400,000 in chips. She's probably got two-thirds of the chips in play, and we are heads up here. Now, once again, they're not playing for any more money. Misuka's already made her $7,000.
They're not playing for any more money technically, but we know that the possibility of more money coming in is very great.
Of course, of course.
2,000 answers.
I mean, like I said, I think that if say Kelly were to win this and go on and win the event, I think that she would be sponsored by some sites that might put her in a lot of high-level tournaments.
I personally, whoever wins this tournament, I will pay $500 to wear my shirt.
You know, Kelly, again, you know, she won in the 2006 WSOP. She came 59th out of 1,128 people. She, of course, won the Lips Tour event. She came in.
Well, I mean, you see it, obviously. I mean, obviously, Kelly's gotten lucky here and there. She won a coin flip, then she got lucky there with runner, two-pair.
Well, unique situation now. The big blind is first to act pre-flop. She completes. Alberta checks. And now Kelly's last to act on the button. So Kelly just completed with Jack-9 in the small blind on the button. She now bets with a pair of jacks and she takes it down.
One of the only times, it's the only time ever where, as on the button, you will act first pre-flop.
Right.
Now, once again, I'm going to point out, though, Kelly obviously getting lucky here, but putting herself playing well enough for the last, many hours to put herself in a position to get lucky.
You are the big blind.
So Kelly's probably has Alberta, about 4 or 5 times, maybe 4 times?
No. It's about 2-1 right now.
Are you sure? Really?
Yeah, that's it. Maybe a little more.
Alberta does have maybe 3-1. Yeah, all those brown chips. Alberta's got a pretty big hand here, heads up here on the button, King Queen.
Oh, it's a monster hand, and you know what though? Kelly's got a pretty big hand, two-handed too. She's got King 5 suited here. I got to see. We might see fireworks here. Once again, Kelly Griggs against Alberta Damas.
The funny thing about Alberta is she hasn't changed her race sizes. She's making it 85,000 to go here.
Wow.
And she's really committing herself here. Now, does Kelly want to commit with a hand like King 5? I got to tell you, if you commit here, Alberta's going to call you, and if you double up Alberta, suddenly Alberta's a chip leader.
Right.
Yeah, but at what point do you think that your hand is better than average where you can make a call where you think it might be good? I mean, King 5 is just a little bit better than average.
Right now, they got a lot of chips, though. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's easy for me. I can see the cards, but you know what? At this point, see, it's funny. If Alberta only had like 40,000 chips, it's an easy call because you can't get hurt.
What if you have Ace 5 here? Do you make the call?
I don't know. I don't like to call my chips off with a hand like as weak as Ace 5.
Well, I know you keep saying that. Well, Kelly's going to call, but Alberta keeps making the same raise, so it's that is her standard raise.
I might wait for a bigger hand, and I might look to play in position a little more.
Well, here it is. Kelly has called here. Now, what has happened all day long is that if Kelly doesn't hit this flop, she might bet. And you wonder if Alberta's going to call if it's a ragged board. Here we go, and it is a ragged board.
Well, she's hit a 5, though.
Oh, yeah, and Kelly's got the best hand because she hit the 5.
Alberta's in terrible shape here. Alberta's going to need a queen and only a queen to win this pot. The funny thing is, though, and she's going to check it.
What? And look at this.
Alberta's going to call?
Interesting that Kelly bets when she doesn't have it. She checked it when she thinks she has it, and she's going to call. Wow, and she is a huge favorite.
Yeah, Alberta's going to need a queen here and only a queen, or some sort of running cards.
Running cards to chop up the pot. Wow.
Yeah, and this should do it.
Huge favorite here. Kelly is in seat 4 to take this
more
one
than
down.
a 4-1 favorite.
Here we go to the turn.
There's the 10. Oh, wow, now still needs a queen here. The queen of diamonds is in her hand.
And the river's an 8. That's going to do it there.
Oh, right on, Kelly.
And I think she's crying. Oh, that's sweet. That's absolutely. That's sweet. That's sweet. And congratulations to Kelly Griggs. I want to congratulate Alberta Damas as well for coming in second place. Very
awesome job.
Really played well. Alberta made a great comeback. She was short stacked the entire day. And but Kelly Griggs, our champion. Congratulations. Kelly Griggs will be on the World Poker Tour Ladies Night Invitational. Absolutely fabulous.
I don't know. Did we say that? And there you can see Kelly with putting that ring on.
So proud of her. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh.
I got to tell you, we've done a couple of ladies' nights and I got to tell you how special it is. The ladies just seem to appreciate it so much.
Yes.
I mean, it really is. It's really special. It's wonderful.
You know, to be able to get an opportunity to play at the level that she's going to get to play at.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's going to be playing on the Travel Channel now.
Right.
Just made herself $7,000. She's got a ring. She's got the championship. Really, I mean, that is absolutely fabulous. Congratulations to Kelly Griggs. Once again, this tournament is bringing awareness to Go All In for the Cure. It helps fight against the fight for breast cancer, and we are raising funds in conjunction with the World Poker Tour and Susan G. Komen. You can visit www.worldpokertour.com. You can actually go to our site, and there's a link. And you can also go to charitybuzz.com, and you can bid on the items. We had a couple items here. We have the World Poker Tour Life's a Bluff rendition, which will be signed by the ladies in this event.
I'll have to put Kelly's picture right in that question mark.
Exactly. I imagine if there is I'm not sure if there's a Mr. Griggs out there, but if he doesn't bid on that, man, he's in.
She is married.
Well,
She lives in
I got to tell you,
Folsom,
if he doesn't
California.
bid on that, he is up the creek without a paddle.
And she's wearing her boss's company shirt.
Well, there you go. Once again, if you want to subscribe to Live at the Bike, you can. I'll get to it in a second. We actually are donating half of the subscription price for all the subscriptions today to cancer, to fight cancer. You can also bid on this poker pads, which has been signed by many pros. We got it signed over at the World Series of Poker.
Yeah, some of the top pros I'm looking at here have signed this, and Phil Locke, Antonio, Paul Barden, looks like Doyle Brunson.
And once again, remember, it's only money here. It's for a great cause.
Yeah, and if you like what you've seen here, again, we stream live cash games every Monday through Friday, no limit hold'em cash games, and everywhere from the smallest game being like a $3, $5, $200 max buy-in all the way up to the biggest games.
Yeah, you got to check it out.
No limit games. So
we got a lot of features on our website. We've got a video blog where we dissect your hands and our hands. You can email us in with your hands. We also have my blog called Under the Gun with David Tuckman. You can check it out, where I kind of talk about what's going on in my life, especially my poker happenings. Once again, this is great. I mean, anytime you can raise some awareness for breast cancer and help fight it, I think that's great.
And this is funny because Kelly's putting makeup on to come in here, but she's on
she's already
camera
been
now.
on camera the whole time.
Very sweet.
We don't think about those things. Oh, good girl.
I think it with the tears.
Yeah, and this is really great. I got to tell you.
I'm so proud of her. I'm so
Very
excited
exciting.
for her.
And there's the Pajedo, the bicycle tournament.
Yeah.
Legends of Poker reporter.
Yeah, we like to call him the potato of Live at the Bike because every single time you have a plate of Live at the Bike, you always have a piece of potato. There he is. Kind of looks like a potato to me, I think.
And it's funny that Jay was in here the whole time watching too, and he's got to be able to cover this a lot more thoroughly than some of the other tournaments when you don't get to see the cards.
Of course. I mean, really interesting tournament. Now, once again, our chip leader our chip leaders actually at the start of this, Faylene and Teresa, did not fare as well. Kelly did not have a lot of chips to start off with, but she battled hard, and congratulations,
So
really great job.
Kelly's in here in the booth, and
so proud
Dave and Lupe, we're not going to hear from them. Thank you very much for joining us, Lupe. It's been great.
Much, you guys. I really had a great time, but I'm going to go give Kelly a quick hug.
My destiny.
No doubt. It's even worse for them because they can see the bottom part.
And apparently, sometimes when you're playing a tournament, I got to tell you, it is just destiny. It really is. And we are going to welcome the lovely Kelly Griggs into the booth with us, the winner of the ladies tournament here, and she is going to be representing the Bicycle Casino at the Ladies Invitational for World Poker Tour. And once we get her mic'd up, we'll be all ready to go. Bart's helping her out here.
Don't mess up my hair, Bart.
Once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen and the lovely Kelly Griggs, the winner of the ladies tournament here. Congratulations to Kelly.
Thanks.
And here we are.
There she is.
There she is.
I got to tell you, you are absolutely adorable.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're like the cutest button.
Thanks.
And Kelly, you got, one of the defining hands of the tournament was actually when you hit that ace against seat number 3 there.
Destiny.
With the ace deuce.
Poker destiny.
Yeah.
It's funny, I always talk about, obviously you played really well to get here, and, obviously a lot of luck is involved in winning a tournament. We talk about putting yourself in a position to get yourself lucky. What did you do to get yourself in that spot?
Really, I have like a little ritual. I have a great poker coach, Shaw. Thank you. Donitsa, thank you. My husband, Jeff, and kids, thank you. But I put on my little iPod and would go dance in the corner on the breaks. A lot of you guys were laughing at me, but it works. Psych yourself out. And you have to be willing to risk it. I've been growing up. My dad's an amazing poker player, and, he tells me you got to take risks. Sometimes it's just your time, and I knew coming here that it was my time. This was my game. I watched literally every WPT, WSOP event over the last 72 hours and just junked out on strategies, and sometimes you just have to roll the dice. You don't get the cards, or you get the cards, and you just have to go for it.
Someone who monitors a lot of the relationship between internet sites and sponsorship deals with the WPT and other televised events has stated that the WPT, this is the first season where they're allowing logos, and that you have the possibility of someone coming up and approaching you basically with, say, like a Full Tilt or an Absolute or a PokerStars logo, and you almost probably have some guaranteed money waiting for you there. I'm not going to say that definitely 100%.
I'm a fan of all of your sites.
I personally will give you $100 to wear a hat of mine. It's an ugly hat, but hey.
I'm sporting my resume shirt. This is where I work.
Oh, there you go. That's great.
Mortgage lending done right.
Okay. Hey, check it out. Okay, you need a mortgage, you go there. Okay, I have a question for you. What do you dance to when you're listening to your iPod?
This was actually Gwen Stefani, and I can't say it because it has some bad words in the title, but I ain't no holla back girl.
Oh, that's the song that Kenna James likes to dance to, too.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't doubt that with Kenna James.
Yeah. He's got the little thing going on with him.
Now, what's your night now? In a little while, you're going to be on the stage here. You're going to be on the Travel Channel.
I am?
Facing 5 really, really great professionals, and they're going to be all competing for a $25,000 seat into the World Poker Tour Championship. Now, I don't want to take away from your championship today, but are you excited about that?
I'm stoked.
Are you nervous?
Yeah. You guys better mix up your game because I've been studying you for like 10 years. The newcomers, I know your game too, so watch out. I'm totally ready to take you down.
Wow. Okay, well, there you go.
Well, tell that to Erica Schonenberg and J.J. Liu, and then, of course, you have to deal with Jennifer Tilley.
Who I'm a huge fan of. Love you, Jennifer. Her and Phil are so nice. They were so sweet to me at the series. The series was actually the defining turn for me where I knew I wanted to do this, and I just feel like this is my destiny, and I'm in it for the long haul.
Right. Now, are you going to be leaving Resume anytime soon?
No, my boss is out there. Hi, Paul. Paul Vimonto, Christy Hagan. Thank you all for your support. Shaw, Michelle, Beth, Sam, thank you. They all cover for me while I play all my tournaments.
I got you. And now your tournament style, now you seem like a pretty aggressive player, but you kind of like pick your spots here and there. Now, early going, did you was there a strategy you employed early going in the tournament? Obviously you had a big field, over 400 ladies to compete against. What was your strategy going into it?
Honestly, I pace myself as I just want to make it halfway through the field. That's what I do. It's like I just want to make it halfway through the field. So I played tight aggressive in the beginning, and, I played when I had position, I played when I had the cards, and then I lucked out. I got some big blind specials, and that was it. So at this particular event, there wasn't a moment when I didn't know I wasn't going to win it. I knew that it was mine from the time that I got here, and the bicycle is just such a fantastic place to be. And
we didn't tell her to say that.
Oh, it is. You guys have to come here. It's very cool. We're having a great time.
So, and I just noticed one thing. Your 2-year-old and your 7-year-old daughters, they say, of course they say, all in mommy.
All in mommy. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I like that.
Gabby already told everybody yesterday that I was at the final table, and that was about 6 o'clock. So she knew mommy was going to win, too.
Are they home watching?
Yes, they are. Hi, girls.
That's great. Okay.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. Congratulations to Kelly Griggs, $12,345 winner. She's also going to be playing in the WPT Invitational Ladies event upcoming here in 2 weeks. Check it out. You can come down here and join the audience. It will be on sometime in October. August 31st, I believe, is the date. And that is when the taping is, and it's showing the 28th of October. So you can check that out on Wednesday night on the Travel Channel. So for Kelly, Dave Tuckman, everybody here in the booth, we will be dark tomorrow. Check us out on Tuesday for another $500 no limit game. Congratulations, Kelly Griggs.
Thank you, everybody.
See you next time, everybody. Good night. From Live at the Bike.
Awesome.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh.
He's going to take a shot at you.